So we got a number of games. We're going to open up with some games today.
I love calamari.
We have a.
Did you go shoot calamari?
No, it's a squid game, you fool.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like hunting, like the deer game.
I did too. Actually.
I was like, did you go fucking harpooning?
Your joke was smarter than my expectations of the joke.
Is it
Okay. Wow. Those ogres have layers, I guess.
So later on, we're gonna play What Do Chris and Bobby Know About Dune? But right now, in the hopes of racial offense, we're gonna ask Joe what he knows about Wu-Tang Clan.
What was the original thing that was coming up that you were going to ask some questions, and I was like,
yes, I have 3 questions regarding Wu-Tang Clan for the 3 of us.
And then in response, I'm like, well, what do I even know to answer? How to answer? So go ahead with your questions. And
so my questions to the panel, as it were, is
panel 2.
Who is your favorite member? What is your favorite Wu-Tang song? What is your favorite Wu-Tang album? Okay. And they can be solo efforts. They can be affiliates.
So Bobby, that's my table. That's my question. No, that's my. Well, exactly. Is it my? How deep into the affiliates? Affiliates.
Your preference is your preference. If it happens to be LB, the 45th disciple, then that's who it is.
Well, the first question is like, to answer your first question is like, let me name who I think is in the Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. All right.
Redman, Method Man, right?
Okay.
Nope, and no.
You're at 50%. You're at 50%.
You're wrong
one of them is it?
One of them
is it Method Man?
Yes.
Method Man.
Okay.
Redman is kind of an honorable mention.
So you're talking about the extended universe,
but he's not.
The Wu-Tang extended universe.
But he's not in a. But he's not a Wu.
That might be the title.
Maybe we should be clear. There's people who are Wu-Tang friendly,
or you talking about affiliates
people who are affiliates. Is like there's an entire network of.
Yes.
So it's Redman an affiliate. Like
it's kind of like a B team or a what is it? What is it in baseball when they have
one of them
minor league? It's like the minor league.
Farm system. That's actually a good way to put it.
So okay. So I thought because I thought they came in a pair.
So far we have one. We have one of the. Are we talking about the original 7 here? Is it 7?
I think it was. Hold on, I can tell you exactly how many it was.
See,
9. It was originally 9.
Okay, I didn't even know that. So
and then by the second album, it was 10.
And I'm not going to be able to name 9 people.
Well, let's see how far 5. So we've got 1 so far.
Okay, Ghostface Killer.
Yep.
Okay.
You're holding up 3 fingers. You've only gotten 2 so far.
I know, but I've named 3 people.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Of who I think is. Oh, Dirty Bastard.
Yep.
Oh shit. Who, dude? Is that my limit?
Let me fill in when Joe gets done because I don't know that I know all 9 of them.
All right, and then 10. I mean,
Busta Rhymes not. No, he's just in the time area,
in the time and genre.
So is that it?
I think that's all. Maybe all I got.
So he got ODB,
Method Man, and Ghostface Killer.
All right, Inspector Deck.
That's a good one.
Jizza.
Oh, RZA is RZA too?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I have 7 RZA and Jizza. Fuck. They also came in a pair.
Oh, see the dude's face.
Because they started
he
the
had,
RZA, the Jizza, the blank, and the blank.
Holy shit, the dude with the ice cream song. Whose name I can't fucking remember.
Does that count?
I see his
Partial
face.
credit.
Hang on, he's on a Yellow Wolf song even.
Is he?
Yeah.
Kind of has a chipmunk face. I mean, that would all
yeah,
due
you're
respect.
right. You're right. Yeah, I wish a mother. He's on the. I wish a motherfucker would. He looks like Kanye looked after the wreck. Yeah. Ooh, okay. I think I'm done too, Bobby. Who am I trying to say? Or am I gonna smack myself over?
Raekwon the Chef.
God damn it.
You God. Master Killer. Later on came Capadonna. He was the 10th member, and it was so it was the RZA, the Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, You God, Ghostface Killer, Method Man, Master Killer, and Capadonna are the 10 members. I would have been able to
name 5 of those.
Okay, so what else? So continue. What else? So you got 3.
I know they got they're like fucking superhero Shaolin fucking themed, and they have like music videos where they have like super power kung fu moves.
Yep, that's true.
I think that's about it.
Can you name any song, album, etc.?
I mean, I can't even do it with bands I do like.
You didn't like Wu-Tang Clan?
I don't not like them.
They're
there.
Existed.
Enter the 36 Chambers.
Mm-hmm. It was an album. Yep.
It's their debut album.
That was their debut album. It was actually. It was just.
I recognize that name. I couldn't pull on my ass, but
just so we don't get actually, it was Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers.
Sure. Thank you, Bob.
But everybody commonly just called it 36 Chambers.
They had a video game too, didn't they?
They were in
the Def Jam Vendetta. So was Joe Budden.
I thought they were.
Was Joe Budden's finishing move to pump them up? Does he have a pump? So I can't. I unfortunately don't think I can name another album, which is shocking to me.
The second album was Wu-Tang Forever.
Okay.
The third album was The W. The fourth album, I don't know what it was called, like the Iron Soldier or some shit. It looked like Iwo Jima, like raising the flag of Iwo Jima, but it was them. And I couldn't tell you after that. There's like 8 diagrams is I think one of the albums.
That sounds right. And then there's that one that only 2 people have listened to or whatever.
Yeah, the guy that made the HIV medicine.
Yeah, that's in prison.
Yeah.
As far as song, Joe, can you name a song?
No, if you name one, I might be able to say, oh yeah.
Well, I mean, cash rules everything around me.
Cream.
Get the money.
Cream.
It's like they're probably, I'd say that's probably their most recognizable
I would say
song.
that's the song that they'll end up as a group being known for. That's an interesting question though. What do you think is their biggest together, anything that's come under the Wu-Tang banner? What
can I tell you what my favorite group track is?
Sure.
Do you want to guess what it is?
Well, mine is Cream.
Okay.
And that's my favorite Wu-Tang song, however you want to calculate it. Yours. So I'm gonna just throw this out there. This is what I think. Mm-hmm. No, but you said it's a group song.
It's a group track. It's off one of their albums, their group album.
I'm gonna go with Triumph.
You're correct. Abomatomically. Socrates' philosophies
and hypotheses.
So I recognize the song. No idea what name and where it came
that
from.
was the one where they had superhero powers in the video.
That's why I fucking know that.
I just love that fucking
strings.
Well, no, that running bass line.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like a hi hat.
It's
like doom 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 doom. It's the same thing over and over, but it's fucking great. But if you get into the weeds on individual albums, because this could go on forever.
I think that their biggest song, ironically, I think the song that is most recognizable of all of their efforts is Shimmy Shimmy. Shimmy.
Oh yes, I know that one.
Like as soon as it comes on, people know it. Like people that you don't think would know it. And I think it was because it was used in Knocked Up.
Well, and Got Your Money too.
Yeah, I mean that's out there because of the commercial.
Mm-hmm. And he had Khalees on that when she was a big deal.
And Neptune's produced it
when her milkshake was
bringing all the boys to the yard.
Yeah.
And then there was and then my favorite member is Raekwon, the chef, the one that you got. He was by far my favorite.
Rest in peace, ODB, just because he was so
he's great.
Fucking. Like, do you remember the MTV thing where they went in a limo to go pick up his food stamps?
Oh yeah.
That was so incredible.
Yeah, when he was like, because he like, and he said it like on that album. He was like, okay, for those that don't know, he was a character, but he was like, I came out my mama pussy. I'm on welfare. 26 years old. I'm still on welfare. So I gotta get paid fully. He was a character. Yeah, he was great, man. There's a great story about him. When he was on the Mariah Carey song.
I was about to mention about that was the next thing I was going to say, but yeah.
So he was on the Mariah Carey song, the Fantasy song.
And that's when she decided I'm going to be sexy instead of Tommy Mottola's wife.
And I'm going to be quote unquote urban. It's like the same time, because there's actually a quote from her. I don't know if anybody can find it, but where she says where she says rap music isn't music, it's garbage. From like the Emotions era, like you got me feeling emotions deeper than I ever. Like during that CC Peniston era.
Finally, it has happened to me right in front of my face.
That shit is rocking though.
Yeah, that shit's pretty good though. That shit's fucking pretty good, bro.
Man of my dreams,
dude, it's good.
Yeah, man.
So I can sing old R&B,
but I'll say that like she had that song. He was in the music video. The story to it, like the legend of it, is like wardrobe came to him and he was wearing like dirty sweatpants and like a dirty t-shirt
and
they
some
were like,
Timbs probably.
Here's some money. Please go to the mall and pick yourself out something on us. Whatever you want. And he came back and didn't buy any clothes whatsoever. He just bought like Louis Vuitton luggage. And they were like, "What is that?" And he was like, I need it for a scene."
So, I mean, I can't picture it. Is he wearing dirty sweatpants in the video?
You know what? I can't picture it either.
Oh, man.
I wonder if he's in the video.
I don't even know. I can't.
It's
I know the
fantasy,
song.
right?
I don't know the fucking
Fantasy?
video.
Let's look it up.
I didn't watch a lot of fucking music videos.
He was also like in a famous interview with like Praz and Maya and Wyclef for the Ghetto Superstar song. And they were like, Praz, you've created this, this fund that helps inner city children, and Wyclef, you're doing all this stuff with Haiti, and Maya, you have something like a Rex clubs that you're building. And Old Dirty, what are you doing to give back to the community? And he's like, me? Nothing. And they were like, what? And he was like, the community ain't never do shit for me. I'm not doing shit for the community.
All right, so he had on a flannel and some jeans. So at some point in time, somebody said, "Put this shit on, man." Yeah. I'd imagine he had a very. Could you imagine being his AR?
Oh my god, I cannot.
He was listen,
on,
man.
He was on Electra. Anyway, this is not all random. This is going to come back up in my nerd week. But speaking of nerd weeks, Chris, you got coffee first. Joe, how was yours?
So I watched Jurassic Park 3. Did I tell me last week? No, that was that night that I watched
Jurassic Park. You were going to watch Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, it's not great.
Vince Vaughn doesn't save it.
It wasn't necessary. Well, Vince Vaughn was in the second one.
Okay. My bad.
I can't keep
third one.
The third one they bring back like the original cast.
The original, yeah, they brought in the original cast, but only the main dude was really in it. He got tricked into going back to the island by fucking William H. Macy.
Yes, to find the kid or whatever, right? Yeah, I remember.
There's a pterodactyl walking on a bridge at some point. That's cool.
That's the thing. Dinosaur movie, man. They got good parts.
Yeah,
I can watch it. It's not a good movie, but I could watch it.
Spinosaurus is in this one.
Yes, the one that's fucking with the T-Rex. Because it keeps trashing the T-Rex, because T-Rex was like it still is really the best dinosaur and people would love.
Kind of king of the monsters, except he took an L from Godzilla, from King Kong, and he took an L from the Spinosaurus,
right? Which is actually IRL the most badass dinosaur. It also swims. It's bigger and it's more badass. But for whatever reason, T-Rex just was there first, I think.
Yeah, I think it's more iconic. It's like
now, like for whatever reason,
because there was always like the big five, right? It was like the T-Rex, the Triceratops,
the fucking Dinobots.
Yeah,
pretty much the Dinobots.
Yeah, no, exactly the Dinobots.
Yeah,
the
big five.
Dude, you're right.
Except, so what's that flying dinosaur called? What's it called?
Which one?
I don't see. That's
it's a pterodactyl.
It's a pterodactyl,
but there's a pteranodon is the other one,
and a pterodon also.
Yeah, but I think
pterodon.
But they all are pterodactyls.
Yeah, but
right. I'm just saying that's the only one name wise that anybody's going to get super hung up on.
Other than
the
those
Brontosaurus and the Brachiosaurus.
Well, no, it was because the Brontosaurus ended up not being a thing,
a real thing,
and then it was an Apatosaurus, but then they called it a Brontosaurus again. I think it's like Pluto. It's like a planet. It's not a planet.
It's like might as well just call it the thing that everyone knew it as anyway.
It's like
but no one really fucking cares.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Joe. That's what I'm saying. They should just have a fucking just ask people of America, like, hey, does anybody care if Pluto's a planet or not? And if the overwhelming majority is no, just let him be a planet.
Right, just in your own scientific community when you're doing research and shit, you know what it is.
Correct.
But like for the public, like it's too fucking late, bro.
Leave us alone. Stop bothering us.
America's like that. That's why we're still not using the goddamn metric system.
I'm trying to figure out where the fucking big Cheetos are. Give me a break.
There's a sixth.
You got to buy the individual.
There's
bags,
a sixth
Bobby.
one of the big five dinosaurs that fans toys try to add in lady form, which is fucking raptors.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wasn't Dinobot a raptor in Beast Wars? Kind of, sort of.
I don't know about Beast Wars. Yes, but it doesn't count.
Yeah. Megatron's a purple Tyrannosaurus Rex.
He is that.
Pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah, but they probably founded T-Rex first before they found the Spinosaurus. That's why the T-Rex is the most popular.
Yeah,
because usually
probably
people like the most badass thing, and at the time that was.
Yeah, I think it was. Exactly.
And I think to most kids. Still,
it sounds cooler too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Tyrannosaurus
Rex,
like a tyrant.
I saw this I sent Phil this picture.
Please.
It's a Tyrannosaurus wearing a Christmas
It's a bad Christmas sweater with the Tyrannosaurus wearing the exact same bad Christmas sweater. It's very meta.
But his arms aren't long enough, so the sleeves are just
It's meta.
dangling like a wizard's sleeve.
So, yeah, I don't regret watching it, but yes, it's not good. And there's a kid in it that I fucking hate for no reason. Like, it survived.
It's like...
he survived, and I wish it was dead.
Have you seen Bad Batch?
Omega.
No, I need to. Dude, my list is too fucking long. So there was that. And we started watching... We watched Mad Max. We're still going to watch all the Mad Maxes, because there's going to be more Mad Maxes coming out.
Oh, really?
Chris never saw the old ones.
I don't think I've seen all the old ones either.
So we watched the first two.
Okay.
And the Road Warrior being the second one. It's like the most
that's
iconic.
it though, right?
No, that's the third one. Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I guess I realized there were 3.
Exactly. No, because people think of 2 and 3 as 1 and 2. Nobody really remembers the original Mad Max.
Okay. I guess you're right.
Which takes place before the apocalypse. It's a completely different setting.
Really?
It's still like...
I don't think I've seen it.
It's still really wild. Like, it's still like kind of like a...
Like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Continue.
It's like pre-apocalyptic apocalypse. Like, everything is fucking chaotic. And like, there are people on the roads already acting crazy. And but Max is part of like cops. He was one of the cops in this station who like goes on the road and fucking ran people off the roads.
Fighting crime in a future time?
Yes. And he has a wife and kid that got killed at the end of the movie. And that's like...
Yeah. It's a great motivator to...
But then the second movie starts off with, now the apocalypse has happened. It's like, whoa. Who greenlit the second movie from the first movie? The first movie wasn't great. And it doesn't hold up anyway. It might have been great for the time. It doesn't hold up.
I was watching something the other day. You're talking about like first movies and how the hell did it get a sequel? The first Terminator movie, like the year it came out, was like number 30 at the box office. It was not
really.
Yeah. But that year was so packed with films.
What year was that?
I think it was 85.
Okay.
I was watching a thing about The Last Starfighter. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
I am. For better or worse, I am.
Toy Galaxy. Dan over there did, he does those retrospective things. And he did one on that, and he was showing like the listing, the top whatever, to show where that came in a horrible place too.
But it was showing. I saw the Terminator on there. Like people like it afterwards.
And then think about the money they spent on Terminator 2 and how big of a hit that was.
Well, did it generate a lot of VHS money?
The Terminator?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I think that's where it's at the time.
We don't think about
that. It's not anymore. Streaming or the disc, it's the fucking VHS and the rentals.
Yeah. I love Terminator 2, man. It's such a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the few, right? Like Terminator 2, Empire Strikes Back, Aliens, Godfather 2.
Yeah, Aliens is
it's like one of the few.
Just because Alien 1 was so different.
Right.
Just like kind of like Mad Max 1 and 2.
So, and we probably should have
Marilyn Phil?
No, your buddy that's into the sci-fi.
Oh, stuff. Chucky O.
Chucky O. Which we had a great sci-fi conversation at the party, so I'd love to be here.
Yeah.
If you can ever have any of your buddies here when I'm here.
Only, when I'm not here.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. So, but that's a good conversation between Alien and Aliens because it's in the same universe.
And it feels like the same universe.
But it's such a different vibe. Yeah. Like the way the story's told, the pacing.
Agreed.
It's a big universe.
But all of those movies.
What about our shares, Joe?
All of those movies, all 4 of them, the thing
all
that they...
4 of...
where the sequels are better than the original or kind of seen that way. It's the reason why is because they're the 4 that explain the universe. Like Empire Strikes Back explains what the Force is. It explains the family connections of the characters. It really explains what's going on. Aliens explains how the fucking the biology works with all the aliens
and also how the universe works. Really,
yes.
Because you only saw the ship, like they're on a ship and going to go mining. That's it.
Terminator 2 explains Judgment Day. It explains how we get to Judgment Day, what happens, and why. Everybody. Yeah.
Dude, I love that scene.
Approximately 4:15 a.m.
That guy hasn't aged at all.
No, he's still around.
True.
Looking
he plays the same role in Justice League.
It's true. And then the 4th one being Godfather 2 explains how Vito Corleone got out of Italy into America, set up his family, like all of them do the exact same thing. They just all do it right.
Yeah, there's a formula for sure. There definitely is. It's not followed as often as I think.
Right. Anyway, what else?
Mad Max. We're going to watch 3 and then Fury Road, which is the recent one. Not going to watch it in black and white. I was interested in watching in black and white, but like
I've watched it both ways actually. I watched the noir version.
How is it?
It's in black and white.
I mean, sometimes it's different. Like I know we like shit on it a lot, but like
I think you pay more attention to the story and the characters because it's not as visually stimulating.
Depends. Like that's depth.
Have you watched?
Like I don't know. Maybe,
Bobby, plug your ears. Have you watched the Logan Noir?
No, I have not.
It's good.
But like Sin City was in black and white, right?
Yeah,
mostly. Except the colors, splashes. But I don't know. As someone else who draws, Bobby, like does black and white and tonal gradation speaks to you in a way, just like black and white photography. I know we shit on it as like this pompous, but sometimes, dude, pictures look better in black and white when you're just seeing the tones.
So I agree with you. However, I don't think that there's like if I think about movies that I've seen in black and white, right? Schindler's List, one of the all-time nerd rage classics that comes up pretty often. It's not my favorite. Horrible things happen in it. And what else was there? Oh, and then Sin City, right? And like,
what about It's a Wonderful Life?
But
like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, I have seen that. So, but
Gilligan's Island's not a movie. But what if it had been?
It was a movie.
What if it was a horror movie?
He got out. They got out and they got stuck back on the island again.
That was like a made-for-TV movie, though. Okay,
so was it?
Sin City is black and white with the gradients, but it's also at times legit black and white. You know what I mean? Where it's not, there's no tone of gray.
Yes,
you know
yes,
what I mean?
Yes.
But that's striking to me for a different reason.
Bold.
But most of the time, I enjoy obviously color films, but I enjoy when the color films are done in a way, and I don't know exactly how to define it, but they look away. They don't look like
they're stylized.
Yes,
and they have a style.
Snyder does it.
They have a style set for the.
Yes,
basically, they have a preset on their camera that they're going to use,
like a filter, that
look.
The dude who did
this green in the Matrix and this fucking tan in the fucking real world, and just shit like that.
The Indian dude that did The Cell. He did
not M. Night Shyamalan.
No. He did The Cell. He did a movie called The Fall, it's one of those movies I would love to watch with you and talk to you about it afterwards.
We can. Well, not in December apparently. We had our chance this month.
I know.
We had our chance.
Because I was fucked this month.
Yeah.
But and he did that other movie that's like fucking awesome, but it's never brought up.
Apparently, because you can't think of
it. The Immortals.
Yes, I do like The Immortals because it's overshadowed by like 300.
Yeah,
because it's in the same style, but kind of.
It's stylized.
The problem is because it is in such a way that you think of 300 since 300 came first.
Yeah,
and you don't see it as something original anymore.
So like even Dune has like a color template that's not like reality.
No, it's a vibe to it.
It's like all the grays are like blue gray or
I mean, it's like you said. The first thing that comes to mind when you talk about something like that is the Matrix. Yep. Everything's got that greenish.
And I didn't think about it at the time as bluish. Because I was too young to like realize, but like it says something to you.
Yeah,
like
it sets the tone. And to me, that's almost like this melancholy. It makes you feel like you're working in a fucking cubicle. To me,
right?
That color palette does.
Yep.
But I think I enjoy that more so than I enjoy the black and white stylized color palette.
You know what?
There's merit to all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't think of an example, but right off the top of my head. But when like they're doing flashbacks or something to mainly to distinguish the timeline, they do a black and white.
When they get a sepia
or sepia tone,
the blurry Barbara Streisand, Barbara Walters.
Or I've seen
Have
it.
You
also,
seen Judge Judy lately? She looks like she's a glowing angel. They put such a fucking filter on her. It's insane.
Does she look the same?
No,
I've been watching her since I was like 20 years ago.
Look at it. If
you blow her out, you can't see the wrinkles.
That's exactly what they're doing.
I've also seen where they like throw like where they're doing a flashback and they put like a gradient or something on like not a gradient, like a grain. They make it grainy.
They put a grain.
You know, like where it looks like it's like it was found like in some old bin.
I've seen another way they do like a fade around the edges.
Yeah, like
feathering. I don't know what it's called.
No,
it's like a television type thing.
They put a mat around. Yeah.
But
like Caillou.
But I don't know. But if it was intended that way, like if the director shot it that way to be able to be viewed in black and white, I'm interested in what that visual experience is, because I do think Mad Max the Fury Road was a very visually enjoyable.
Had you seen that prior to this Fury Road? Watching it this time?
Yeah. I haven't even gotten to Fury Road yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you've never seen it?
We've only gotten one. No, I've seen it.
Okay. Okay.
But when we get back to it, because I watched 1 and 2, it's 4 basically.
Okay.
So I was tempted to try to do it in black and white, but since I haven't watched it in so long, I wanted to just watch it in color.
Question about is Fury Road the fourth movie, or is it kind of a soft reboot?
No, it's a fourth movie. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's the same universe.
I enjoy the hell out of that movie.
Oh, and then that's a interesting thing. I believe it's the same one or two people that was involved in like directing and writing all 4 movies.
Oh, really?
And it's crazy to see where, like, if it is, I'm pretty sure it's George Miller, maybe. But anyway, from the first movie,
sounds right.
And watching the quality and the directing of that, and then the most recent one is like, bro, it's the same guy. Like, that's leaps and bounds in growth, personal growth, and also just like how movies are
right.
made.
So forgive me for not knowing this. Does Mel Gibson's character die in the end of the third movie?
I don't remember. I haven't gone back to watch.
I thought you said you.
No, he watched the first 2.
That's right. And then I'm confused because I'm a fucking noob. Okay,
because you think the second one is the third one,
and I don't know if he dies in Thunderdome just because I haven't seen it in a million years. But wouldn't it be wild if they did another sequel and like he's the big bad villain or something? He's this crazy old. He's a crazy old guy in the desert, Joe. So
I mean, he's like, spoken of that way. So in the second one, it's like narrated, like starts off with narration and ends with a narration of basically this person who was telling the story of the road warrior. He was a kid when he came around to his village, and now he's old. He's now the elder passing on the story. I mean, it's a good fucking movie. It holds up.
Love to hear it.
The first one doesn't. The second one, I really think it does. The third one, I have to watch again. It might have been just because it was Tina Turner and
we don't need another
Thunderdome that is, well known. I can't recall the quality of it because I didn't watch it again, so it can't be that great in my mind.
You think that people would have given it a pass because they love Tina Turner?
Maybe.
But what's love got to do with it, though?
You know what I mean? Honk yourself, bitch. Don't shake your fucking head, Pinkerton. Don't fucking look down and shake your head.
You're wrong. What you don't understand, Joe, is I'm shaking my head because I'm just mad at myself that I didn't say it. Not how ridiculous it is.
But yes, so looking forward to that. Anyway, for people out there, like, you're looking for a movie you haven't seen in a while, I haven't seen at all, that's older, The Road Warrior is pretty fucking good.
All right.
And The Mouth of Sauron, isn't it? He's in a lot of things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's in.
I'm not sure if I would be able to recognize the Mouth of Sauron.
Dude, he is. Oh,
without being the Mouth of Sauron.
He was a train man in the Matrix. No, probably not. He's probably not.
I don't know, but he looks like Marilyn Manson sometimes to me in Lord of the Rings. And when he like does this,
he has a very distinct face. Yeah, he has a very fucking distinct. Fucking what else? British Bake Off. Fucking great. The series or season finale is coming up. That makes me want to have Baker. Dude, in the last month and a half, I've gained like 15 pounds, bro.
I don't want to say
it's fucking holiday season. Winter season.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, like after Thanksgiving, dude, Thanksgiving is, it's gonna be like so much food there. It's gonna be like 2 full families worth of food for 1.5 families.
I'm looking for like
3 full families worth of food for 2.5 families.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it myself.
It's gonna be epic.
Is that it?
I think I did something else, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I will. Yes, Brofest.
Oh, yeah, Brofest.
I have notes.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm the one who has notes. Why didn't I pull that shit
I have a
up?
note to remind you about what happened on the way to Brofest, if you wanted to tell that story.
Oh, I got me getting fucking pulled over?
Mm-hmm. And how that shaked out, because I thought it was funny. It's very nerd related.
It is nerd related. So I was on my way to Pinkerton, so I was running a little late because, well, that was not late because we didn't set a time, but like I slept in.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I was trying to get there. I wasn't speeding crazy, not any more than usual, but I got pulled over. So I texted him and was like, fuck, I'm going to be late.
Where'd you get pulled over?
Right around this fucking corner, right out here.
Because the cops do hang out down there.
I've never seen them. Never been pulled over around
state
here
trooper
before.
usually, or sheriff.
I don't know. They all look the same to me.
I
mean, not in an offensive manner.
But, I mean, you're not going to offend me.
They got fucking the flashing lights and they stop me.
Right,
they got uniforms. Like, that's all the same to me. They don't do anything different.
It's usually the county sheriff. But go ahead.
And so I bring my backpack everywhere. Mm-hmm. That's my buggo bag that I always have for clothes and whatever I'm working on. So I had like a bunch of shit I was bringing to his house to work on, sticking on my backpack. So the cop came up and asked driver's license and was like, "What's that?" Because it looked weird.
It's a bunch of plates with holes in it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't know if you. I was thinking, I was like, oh, does he think I have some kind of weapon or some weird shit? It's like, no, it's for a game. He's like, it's for what game? It's like, it's for Warhammer. This is like, I don't know if you know, it's like movement traits for like little miniatures.
Did you pull one out and show it?
I pull one out, yeah. It's like it's for little miniatures. He said, oh, Warhammer. I ended up getting a warning instead of a ticket.
Nice.
His demeanor fucking changed.
Really?
He went from like serious cop mode to like buddy cop mode.
Nice.
And then on my way, I said, "Stay safe, have fun." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, you too."
Wow. Yeah, that was.
He said, "Dude, a cop telling you have fun."
Yeah, he said, "Have fun." He said, "Have fun, bro."
And look, a minority got treated that way.
They're white adjacent.
That's part of the problem. We are.
It depends on the day. It just so happens that day. He's white adjacent.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing
Maybe
Warhammer.
he was just filling in that day. You got the Warhammer.
I got the Warhammer guy.
Warhammer guy.
You ever see that? There's like TikTok videos. Like I'm not on TikTok. People send me TikTok videos all the time. But like the one that's like tell me you're not white, or tell me you're white without telling me you're white. And it's like, thanks for the warning, officer.
Oh God.
But fucking both of us got a lot of shit done. Pinkerton we just shot the shit and cut laser shit for, I don't know, not that long.
It was like 2 hours. It ended up being like an hour and a half.
I took a tour of his new place. It's fucking great. Love it.
Thanks.
All the updates, all the furniture. We talked about furniture. I talked to his wife about anime for like half an hour.
Yeah, I took a nap.
Talked to fucking Mason, this kid, about fucking cards for a second. Dude, that's another thing. I've spent like $200 on fucking Magic cards this past few days ago because the new set dropped.
Hey, look, I'm gonna take, just because you're talking about good deals. I don't know if either of you. I know that you are a man of a daily uniform, and I understand that. But I do know that you will also wear a jacket if it's cold over top of your uniform,
and pants over my shorts.
Correct. I don't know if either of you are in the market for winter jackets, but Macy's is having like a Black Friday week sale, and like all their jackets are like 60 to 80% off. I bought 5 jackets, 2 of which leather, for under $400.
Wow. I've been looking for a particular kind of jacket. Maybe I'll hit that up.
Do they have a big and tall section at Macy's?
They don't, but a lot of the time jackets are cut a little longer, so I don't have to have a tall jacket.
Dude, that's the problem with me because I have stubby arms.
This,
so I look like a child a lot because like the sleeves cover
my
half
problem
my hand.
is like, I mean, this is a tall, and I look like I'm fucking.
Yeah,
it's huge. I don't want it this big, but sometimes
Same thing your girl said.
My wizard sleep.
Anyway,
but yeah, and then we fucking end up going to fucking Waffle House.
Oh yeah. Oh, and you went to Manaloose.
And yeah, when Manaloose, dude. Yeah, because we were just talking about Waffle House. I'm like, let's go Waffle House. And he's like, yeah, let's go Waffle House. I'm like, you kidding? Or no? He's like, no. I was like, oh shit, we're going to Waffle House. I was excited.
Bro, I was miserable the rest
afterwards,
of the day.
Dude,
oh my God.
I was out.
Oh, we ate so much.
Dude, like we
Did you have the picture, right? The picture of
filled the fucking table with food and like we ate it all. And the waitress was fucking cute, except like she had like,
and she was really dumb though. I mean, she's really
perfect. She was ditzy.
She was ditzy.
She was sweet and nice
and very, very just ignorant to the world. I think.
Petite and cute.
You're like, I think there's ghosts in your pants.
Well, it's funny that Kelly and I went there recently. We had the same waitress.
Oh really? Oh my God, that does look delicious.
Yeah, we ate all that shit. All that shit.
I don't think I've ever had a waffle at Waffle House.
Really?
We talked about like.
So Joe may be making a capital investment.
You thinking about buying a Waffle House?
No, we looked at because Joe hates a waffle that's not a Waffle House waffle. He likes the shallow. He doesn't like that Belgian waffle shit, as he calls it.
I want American waffles.
So you can buy the exact same waffle machine. How much do you think? How much, Bobby? If you're going to guess,
it comes in 1, 2, and 4, which is Waffle House has a 4.
Okay,
so I think 2 would be more sensible for a home. Sensible as a professional.
I mean, it is a Waffle House after all, Joe. Not
a Waffle Home.
Waffle Home. Joe's gonna put a neon sign that says Waffle Home.
It's branded as Waffle House.
No, it's not.
It's the same one.
It's a commercial waffle.
Commercial waffle maker.
A double
$80.
$80. So sweet and innocent over here. How about $2,200?
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, that shit is serious, bro. That's why the waffles are better than yours.
That's
you got $20 waffle iron, bro.
$80. I don't even
know
know
my waffles, bro. Shut up.
I don't even know if you could get Cuisinart double for $80.
It's Cuisinart bad fan. I don't even know.
No,
you get the one that like
it's not bad. It's just something you buy at Kohl's.
This one.
Something. It's what you'd get for Christmas if you asked for a waffle iron.
Dude, I wanted to go back to Waffle House right the fuck now. You want to go Waffle House after this?
Oh, I can't today. I got shit to do.
Yeah. But yeah, and then went to Manaloose, the Italian restaurant. Bobby
Rants and Raves.
It's fucking amazing.
It is
I'll go back again soon. Maybe next week.
I've been there several times.
Dude, I ate like loaf and a half of bread.
It's like
by
pizza.
myself.
I'm gonna say it's the best Italian restaurant in Frederick, Maryland.
Well, I haven't gone to the other one.
It might be the best Italian restaurant in Maryland.
Yeah.
Well, it's very good and the fucking price is not
Crazy.
It's like Olive Garden prices.
Yeah, it's not
really
crazy.
like not more.
Did you feel like family?
Did they play the Godfather theme in the bathroom? Was there a framed poster of Goodfellas?
It was less diverse there than at Olive Garden, so I don't know if I feel like home. I don't know if I feel like family.
They didn't have that, but they had the Bronx Tale poster in the bathroom.
But yeah, going back to that next. But I drove by another like fancy looking Italian restaurant in downtown Frederick that I asked you about, so I want to try that.
I want to try that too. But have you ever tried Maggiano's as well? It's in Columbia. It's like
Maggiano's is like a chain.
It used to be in Montgomery County. I think it moved.
Okay, yeah, no, I've had it because
that's good.
Yeah, they're very good. When you go to a place and they give you a side of pasta with your pasta,
yeah, or you could take some home for $5.
Yes.
They'll make you a whole nother plate of pasta for $5 to take home.
We're gonna take you a duplicate. You can take home and
that's awesome. They have a not to get in like the pasta nerd convo,
bro,
but like
talk to me.
I went there. Laura and I went there for lunch and had like because actually the last time we went there was the night that we left our kids at your house and we had gotten into a fight at that restaurant.
That was a weird ass vibe when you came out.
We got into a huge fight, probably the biggest fight we've got in our whole marriage. And
over some pasta.
It doesn't matter what it was over. What matters is that it's over. But like. We haven't been there since then because it's been like
bad vibes,
scarred for us. And we were like, you know what? Let's cleanse it. So we went. The ravioli, I got the ravioli in like
toasted ravioli or like the ravioli entree.
Okay. And like the ravioli has like just the top layer of the noodle. It's got like a little brown crust here and there. Mm-hmm. That's when you know
that's
like
perfect.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's on purpose.
That's
bro.
how you know.
You don't do that shit by accident.
That's how you know your family, Bobby.
Stop it, you. That whole restaurant's racist. Motherfuckers don't give a shit.
And yeah, my only other note is that, dude, I don't know if my English is getting worse, like fucking, or like they're just getting worse people. Well, not worse people, more diverse groups of people on British Bake Off because I need subtitles now. I don't understand half of those people are saying. I know it's supposed to be English, and my brain recognizes English, but I can't fucking understand the accent.
Oh, on what show?
British Bake Off.
Oh, okay.
So they're all British people in there, and I understand half of them just fine. But the other half,
well, that shit does vary, like
crazy vary.
It does vary, like because I told you ever seen Layer Cake? It's like a
Daniel Craig movie.
Yeah, it's like a British gangster movie. It's in the same ballpark as Snatch and Lock, Stock. Mm-hmm. It's not, but it's in the same ballpark.
It's really good.
It's good.
It was like before he did the Bond shit, or right around this.
It's kind of before he became like the action hero.
Yeah.
But like, you know what's funny is that a lot of these good actors have these like really interesting roles and then do these gangster movies and then end up becoming action, formulaic.
You get typecast when people like you or something.
Like the dude Jason Statham, whatever Statham, like he was in Lock, Stock and Snatch and all that shit.
And then he became part of the Fast and Furious lore.
Exactly.
So it all works out.
Then he chose a news story.
And Expendables.
A news
when is
story?
He gonna be in?
This is Jason Statham with the 7 o'clock news.
Anyway, Snatch, Lock, Stock, I can watch with no problem. Layer Cake, I had to watch the subtitles on.
Because it's thick.
Yeah.
No?
It's like talking...
thick layered kicks, man.
It's like the... It's Snatch the one with Brad Pitt's the
pikey.
Can you understand that?
No,
it's
okay.
It's like reggae, or not reggae. That was racist of me, but like Jamaican, where it's like the same thing with the pikeys. Like I can kind of take the words that I know and cut them out and paste them together and make sense of the sentence in my brain.
Like Sasa Baratna. Yeah.
I couldn't do that with a lot of people in British Bake Off, so I had to turn subtitles on.
Yeah.
Wow. I watch almost, but I'm really trash because I watch almost everything with subtitles.
I'm really bad with accents. Apparently, it's a foreigner thing. If English is your second language, apparently you have.
You're as cold as ice, foreigner.
You're willing to sacrifice your love, somebody's love.
Not quite.
Dude, I mean, that's pretty dope foreigner.
I mean, can't argue with that.
Was anybody in Foreigner not from the United States? I don't know.
You're always foreign to someone,
Chris.
I
guess so. I guess it depends how far in you go, Bobby.
It's just like when you're off guard. You're always family to somebody.
That's right.
Hopefully. Maybe. No.
Not okay, man. Not okay. I'll put my foot down.
But yeah, apparently...
Make me a sign.
Apparently people whose English isn't their native language have a hard time understanding accents. Because I do.
Really?
I'm really bad at it.
So the first time you met me, we were like...
But there are stuff like not Duck Dynasty, that type.
Let me call a buddy. I'm gonna call a buddy.
Can you watch what's that show? The one where they shoot the alligators. They hunt the alligators down in. What's the name of that show?
Crocodile Dundee.
No, I think it's called
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
It's like Gator Folks or something like that.
It sounds about right.
I know who this is.
My boy Gomez.
You play Mortal Kombat?
He's like, why is this motherfucker calling me?
Year.
Hey, Gomez, ¿qué pasa, man? I got a question for you. You're live on Nerd Rage Radio.
What up?
Hey.
Oh, okay. Oh, on the spot. Oh, God.
All right. So you are English as a second language, young man, correct?
That is correct.
Do you have any trouble understanding people with accents speaking English? Like it's harder for you to understand than just maybe a flat English,
like British,
Jamaican.
Yeah, well, everybody has problems with that. I feel like, but like, is the British accent harder for you to understand?
Asian people speaking English,
or Asian people? And an Asian person is saying this. And Asian people speaking with like their accent kind of caked on top of it. Is it harder for you to understand?
No, not really. I mean, because like I said, I learned English really young, so it's like.
How old?
Like anybody else.
Yeah, you don't have any accent.
They're English, so I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like any harder to
understand
listen or try to understand what they're saying.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we were just getting a second opinion because we were asking if we were talking about maybe that was a possibility. But appreciate it.
Oh no problem, man.
Dude, you should come through one day for this. Sit in.
You should, man.
Well, just send the invite. I'll.
Oh, he needs an invite, Bobby. He can't just show up.
It's true.
He can't just show up.
I'll send him an invite. I'm gonna send you an invite. You're gonna be up here in December at some point.
Oh, hey man, love to hear it.
Boy, you've rubbed off on this.
That's his.
Okay,
that's his.
Well,
He's the originator. I stole it from him. Yeah.
So I don't hear an accent from him. So maybe he was real young. I didn't learn English when I was 10.
Yeah,
you can hear my fucking accent when I speak.
This dude came to this country in a trunk. Like,
okay, relax. Don't put that on. You're getting me in trouble, man.
All right, man. That's
Joe,
a good dude, right
Joe,
there.
I think I figured it out. I think I figured out the reason you can't understand British people is
I was British.
It's all.
Motherfucker,
That's
I was
what I'm
British.
saying. I'm getting there. It's all that imperialism.
Yep.
You can take all that imperialism out of your voice when you talk to me, ma'am.
Yeah, man. I have to tell some of my friends, like, that are coming over here when I know you're going to be here. I'm like, look, he is a colonizer, but he's a pretty good dude.
I went to a fucking Mexicali restaurant this past.
You said it was great,
really good. But also, many times, I feel like an ass. But when waiters speak to me, I look at them and I look at Krista, and she knows to translate. Like she'll repeat the same thing the waiter just said, except I understand it, and I feel like an ass. Like I don't know if. If you're a waiter, right? You're talking to somebody, someone looked at you, and then look at their friend who's speaking the same fucking language. Repeat what you just said.
I'll tell you, you're lucky that you're Asian, because if I do it, I'm racist. Because
that's possible,
dude. We went into this. My
Chris
dad
is also Asian.
My dad. My dad lives in South Carolina, and he has it's a retirement community kind of, and I have to check in kind of when I go in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's it was a Hispanic dude that was working. I couldn't hear him, not because of his accent. He was just talking quietly, and my hearing is fucked.
Yes,
and I couldn't
all
hear
the Wu-Tang.
Yeah, all that Wu-Tang, and the fucking mopping trucks. Yeah, I stand next to every day. And he was like, and I was like, what? What'd you say? He's like, oh, you can't understand me? Is that it? You can't understand me?
Really?
And I was like, yeah. I mean, it was a whole thing. He almost didn't let me into. It was a whole thing. I had to give Laura tell that story. It's fucked up.
Damn. And you had to explain yourself. I just have bad hearing. It's old people community. I'm going to old people community. We can't hear.
Yeah. You should be used
I'm
to
old.
This. You should be used to this.
But yeah, that's it.
All right. Chris, what about your nerd week, buddy? I feel like
and we did watch Dune again this week because before it went out, we watched it the second time.
Oh, you watched it.
And Krista liked it a lot.
Hang on, you watched it a second time.
Yeah, I watched it when it first came out, and I watched.
You guys want to go ahead and talk about that before I get started, Bobby?
Well, okay. So
it?
last week, Pinkerton was sitting here bored as fuck, like rolling his eyes while we talked about fucking Shang-Chi for a goddamn hour, and I was like, well, I should have told him to watch it before we came in. So this week, I'm like, all right. Bobby said he's watching Dune, and I said, well, Pinkerton should watch Dune too, so we can all talk about it.
I didn't get
and
that
he didn't.
memo
So it's not our fucking fault.
It's not.
I'll wait till my nerd week.
Okay, that's fine. So
I don't have much.
I finished watching The Expanse.
Season 6 is coming out soon, right?
Good.
So sorry, you didn't notice till I said this. We paused for 5 minutes because he had to grab some tickets for the GCW debut at the Hammerstein Ballroom. So
that's part of your nerd week now.
It's part of my nerd week,
And I listened to them.
Yep, that's right.
It's a German
Hammerstein.
band, Hammerstein.
Yeah. So
Is that like a Freimenstein cover band?
we got fourth row floor seats.
So season 6 is about to come out, right?
Yeah,
Of
so
Expanse.
The Expanse. So The Expanse season 6 comes out, I think, December 10th. Well, I'm gone, but I have something to look forward to. Such a good show.
It is.
Joe, how far have you guys watched the first three seasons?
3.
Okay, season 4.
I'm where they're on one of the planets past the wormholes.
They're
and
on
fucking,
Illis. Then okay,
Yeah, and
so
there's
that's season 4.
Okay,
How far did you get through that?
Well, there was getting fucky with it. They woke up the goddamn artifacts.
Yeah,
And the one scientist guy who was always,
Martry. Yeah,
he's always a shitbag in every fucking movie.
So he
because
was
of
in
his face.
It's the guy who's in.
He was in the Pacific Rim too, wasn't he? But
He
wasn't
was.
he wasn't a bad guy there.
He was the way Bobby would know this guy. He was in Dark Knight Rises.
He perked up.
He is not the guy that Bane chokes. Not him,
Okay.
but his friend.
Okay.
That slimy looking guy that's his
Yeah.
friend. That's this guy.
Yeah, he's in a lot of movies. Like
So you got yeah. So that season ends.
and Amos, was
have they gone into the structure as a group yet?
I don't think so.
Okay,
somebody
you
fell
gotta
in.
listen.
I think somebody fell in at some point.
Well,
yeah. But yeah, I do love that show. It's like any other long form shows that I love. Like, it's actually easy for me to watch shows I don't care for because I can put it on in the background.
Sure.
But like, I have to emotionally get myself ready for a serious show with serious consequences in the story where like it makes me feel away.
yeah.
It's an endeavor.
So I don't know if it helps you, but to see there's light at the end of the tunnel. So season 6 is the last. They're saying it's the season finale or the series finale. Although there's 3 more books after the events of book 6.
You read them all?
I have not.
On audio. Oh, you have
I'm not. I'm not.
I was just wondering if it's like a different crew in the same universe. That
So it's 30 years later. There's a 30-year gap
Dude,
between.
this is anime. That's no wonder I love
Yeah.
it. Like usually, like a series ends like Dragon Ball. You have a time skip. Like
You get a silk shirt. It buttons up the middle.
you get a cloak that somebody steps on.
No,
No, like sure, Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, Naruto to Shippuden, like
Chip and Dale's. I'm not watching that.
So I guess my question is, obviously it's not realistic to wait 30 years to film something else, but
there's nothing they can
how,
get on
how much if they waited 5 years, or even if they wrapped it up with some somebody made an example, like the X-Files.
Space, it's fine.
Somebody made an example like the X-Files. They did series for however many years, and then they did like 2 or 3 feature films.
And then there was one series,
And then they did a
one
final season. So I mean, there's options out there. I think the fan base is there. Well,
Matrix 4 is coming out. I can't fucking wait in under a month now. So you can wait 30 years and get to something again.
I guess you're right.
But hopefully it wraps this arc anyway, like this complete story arc where that and 30 years later something.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Know it. Yeah,
I think my question I want to ask people is, I guess could I pick up the last 3 books and not have to read everything that I've seen, because I know not every little thing's in there, and there's some character change, like the character of Drummer isn't that character in the book.
They're like them
book.
mashed together.
Yeah, they squished a bunch of people together.
The spirit of the stories in place, as Bobby would say.
And I'll say, and I said it when I watched it the first time, Dominique Tipper, who plays Naomi in that show, the scene she has the last 2 episodes in season 5, wow,
she's great.
That's some of the best. I mean, it's incredible. Character work's incredible, and she's by herself. That's the thing. It's like almost like a
the vagina
Tom Hanks and Castaway.
Tom Hanks and Castaway. There's an art to that. Right. I mean, there's an art to you're by yourself, and she's on a spaceship that's basically going to blow everybody up, and she can't communicate with anybody, and the thing she physically does to herself to try to save her friends. It's insane. It's crazy. I love that show. So good. Charlie went back to the hospital this past week.
Oh my God.
But no, this is good.
Right. Oh, okay.
This is good. So he was supposed to get these treatments at home. They're supposed to come, or he was supposed to go somewhere. Having a hard time. The insurance is being insurance, taking its sweet time.
No, I don't believe it.
Figured out.
I don't believe it.
They're trying to not cover stuff. Are you
saying it's $950 a treatment? And I might have mentioned this on here. I learned a new term during all this. It's called biosimilar. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. It's Joe. You may be able to explain it better than I can. It's not generic, but it's
biosimilar. It's like
it's part of the LGBT. Is it part of that?
Bro,
I'm asking.
Speaking of which, did you guys hear? Did you guys hear about the non-binary person who made a claim on a piece of land?
No.
Yeah, it turns out there was gold in them there hills.
Okay, that was good. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Oh,
what is it? That had to be from Alabama, though.
I've found the aforementioned TikTok is a wealth of horrible jokes, so I have quite a few in the hopper here.
So biosimilar.
Yeah, generic has to be.
It's a type of medicine.
Instead of generic, I think it's like
generic
if you
the brand name has to be really about the same.
Right.
They give you an error percentage.
So there's two different kinds of pancake mix. They're essentially the same thing, but there's maybe a couple ingredients that are different that get to the same point.
Yeah. Gotcha. But like in generic, it's like Kirkland brand stuff is the same as the real stuff. Like Kirkland brand protein bars is the same as Quest bars. It's just different packaging. That's just generic.
Right. Like Pfizer,
Tylenol. Like
Pfizer
you get
probably
acetaminophen instead of Tylenol brand. It's the same shit.
Right.
But bio equivalent is not the same shit.
So does Pfizer?
Similar.
Does Pfizer make their generics themselves, or does a third party?
Do you really want an explanation on this? It gets a little bit fucky.
Go for it. It's nerd rage, buddy.
Oh, fucking now.
Hey, now. I'm not sure that's all right.
So pharmaceutical companies make both brand and generic drugs. Like they have in-house R&D. They create drugs, or they research and bring out new drugs, right? That's their brand. And they can sell. No one can make generic of it for about 7 years. So they get full profit charge wherever they want. And after that, generic comes out. The fucky thing, however, is they'll like Mickey Mouse. They'll fight it sometimes. They'll try to extend that shit. And the more fucky thing sometimes is they will put their brand name drugs, for example, Plaquenil, let's say. All right? They make Plaquenil, and on the pill it will say Plaquenil. It's fucking brand name. In the Plaquenil bottle, generic time comes, they won't change anything. They will change the label on the bottle to hydroxychloroquine, which is a generic name. Same shit. You open a hydroxychloroquine bottle, it says Plaquenil in it. It's brand name. But they're charging generic prices and having the first cut of the market of generic.
So
people want it because it's like they know that this brand name. Well, a lot of people don't. But if you know it, it's like, well, that's a brand name stuff anyway. I can pay generic price of the brand name.
Right.
So it's really the drug world is fuckiest.
The last question I'll ask about that is, in that situation, do they still sell and market the name brand?
Yes, they sell brand name and generic side by fucking side, same pill, different bottle.
And it's ridiculously priced different, right?
Yes, and also there are other companies. I don't know if it's factories or what. This gets in like third party territory where like it's a different manufacturer.
Okay.
So I guess it's like KFC and Expanse. So since
I thought you were going to say KFC and Popeyes
this week. So a different company who didn't make the brand name pills would start making the brand name pills and also selling as generic. So for example, Concerta, very popular ADD medication, comes in generic bottle from a whole different company that is also brand name somehow. It's ridiculous. And the pricing was some of the things we do behind it, I probably shouldn't talk about on here, but pricing gets fucky. And in order for pharmacies, especially independent, to make any kind of money, not only the pharmacist, I don't just fucking look at pills and people's scripts and fill the right thing and check the dosage. I have to, at the end of all that, check the claims, make sure we get reimbursed, check the fucking current price, because Who knows? Pill.
It's a market value, right?
Market value is different.
Yeah.
A pill can literally be $3 in the morning and $300 a night. It's I've seen it. Oh, and sometimes people get tipped up. I don't know how. It's like insider trading, because sometimes I get a crate of a particular medication from my boss. It's like, this is going to be real expensive soon, so I bought a bunch. And the next week, that medicine goes crazy high.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm not. Well, let me because like it's like one of those things that like I don't want to know.
Remind me off. I want to ask you a couple questions about that, but I think we're done for the show's sake. I want to ask
for
you
bioequivalency.
Yes,
we're talking about bioequivalency.
Yeah, it's interesting though.
So the whole point of him. So it's funny that the doctor said, so we're having a hard time getting this approved, but if you go to the emergency room,
yep.
And she said, guess who's on call for pediatric gastronomy or whatever it's called this week? Me. So Kelly takes the emergency room. Hey, Charles Pinkerton. Yep, you're good to go. All right, we got you ready. Got you set up.
See,
nice.
Background.
They backdoored it. But while she's there, guess who calls? The company that's going to be giving the treatment. We're ready for it. We're all like, really? Okay, well, so it's set up for next time. So everything's good.
When talking about insurance company, the fucky part, like you don't have to deal with it. Well, you have to deal with the waiting part, right? They'll probably eventually approve or whatever, or you can get around it.
Yeah.
The fucky part is the person who's getting paid by the insurance. So whatever service is coming to serve, or the doctor, the insurance gets to pay them whatever insurance wants.
So I've seen the paperwork they send.
So
it's crazy.
So I literally for my like in my bag now, like in pharmacy, like you can't refuse service, right? Because especially if it's a Medicaid, we can't like if a person brings in a script that's legit, I have to give them medication, even if they can't pay. If they say I don't have the money, like that's a whole different story. I have to give it to them anyway. I'm not gonna not give a Medicaid person the pills. I have to deal with some other time. But even if I get paid, let's say I bought this drug for $50, and the insurance says the copay is $0, just give it to them. And then they pay me $40. I can't do anything about it. I just lost $10.
Wow.
Insurance pays whatever the fuck they think is market value, regardless of what you paid for it.
Wow. And that's
it's
exactly
a fucking
why.
Racket.
Yeah, that's why exactly why your boss bought a half pallet of.
If he doesn't, that's why like CVS and all that stuff is taking over, and independents are like dying
because they have the volume.
They have the volume. Also, like they're not just like grocery shops. A lot of pharmacies operate in the red because it's just to bring people in the store.
Right.
The groceries make enough money to cover the pharmacy's loss, but independent pharmacies aren't like that.
Right.
We have to make the money. So people either don't want to pay attention or can't. You can't, like my boss lives to work. Like I see him on the order site like over the weekend when I know he's supposed to be at the beach.
But like he goes and plays that game, so to speak, to
do that
to find the
dude,
market trends. And
I don't want to be that life.
You should get him to invest in some
Bitcoin,
some crypto, because it's so then your prescription business may go to shit because he's paying attention to that.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was the whole dance around that. Went to the Toy Exchange, which is our little mom and pop toy shop here in Mount Airy.
I like that. I like that.
And Mason was with me, and I think I was there when he experienced the nostalgia for the first time.
Oh, yeah? He's old enough now.
Yeah, so
he buys Pokemon cards though. So like that's
he does. But this was something I don't think neither of us were expecting to see. So it's hard to explain the Toy Exchange. It's a shotgun building. Half of it is trains. Like model railroad shit, and they've got ancient stuff there. And they do, but you know what? I will say at least half the people I see in there are old dudes digging through trains.
Yep.
So, to this day,
that's the only way you can get trains.
I saw a man wearing sweatpants with a belt the other day in there digging through the trains.
You know he's not going on eBay to look for shit.
Yeah, and they buy. You know, I guess they have a huge online presence to the point where somebody said, "Do you have so and so?" He's like, "Well, let me look on eBay because everything's on eBay."
Yep.
And I looked them up, and then it's like they have 4,000 things on eBay right now.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Don't know how they do that shit either. Mason
grew up in the early 2000s, and
past my high school.
Ben 10 was his favorite thing in the world. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ben 10.
I am.
Transformers, different aliens.
Transformers.
Huh?
He transforms into different aliens. He got 10.
Oh, you said transform. Yes, he does.
Yeah, but people that worked on the Ben 10 show ended up doing something later on for Transformers, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Transforming aliens.
Right. And Ben 10, just like many franchises from that part of time, have been rebooted and rebooted and rebooted. If you go to like the original, the G1, I don't know.
Yeah.
The G1, that was what Mason, had growing up and watched on TV. They had an entire end cap in that store of on card.
Wow.
Ben 10 shit. And like, I picked up one of the carded figures that was probably $6. I looked at the bottom, is $120.
Holy
shit! But they listen. They price eBay prices because it's on eBay too, right?
Yeah.
And even the guy working that we know
bargain with him.
He said, "Yeah, it blew me away." He said that stuff's either worth $5 or $105. It was so Mason was like, "Man, I'd love to get all this stuff." I'm like, do you really care if it's in the package? He's like, "No, not really." I'm like, you probably find it loose on eBay, super cheap,
right?
But just like it was pretty neat to see
because
it seems like a question that's come up probably on here, and I know on ETR is, what do you think today's children will be nostalgic of? And it's
I don't. I don't know what tangible goods they have.
That's the thing. The tangible goods is Mason's generation, the last generation that will have any nostalgia towards a tangible item.
I don't know, because like kids, I don't know how the trading cards in general. I know people still like kids buy Pokemon cards as well as adults, obviously.
Sure.
So like I think that stuff will always be around.
The cards, yeah,
cards.
As far as
easy
like
to collect,
toys though, I don't.
Jana had ponies.
Okay, My Little Pony.
Mm-hmm. Like she caught that wave at the right time for her age group. Like,
did you find any like middle-aged dudes that were into it she could talk to on the internet?
Bronies.
She didn't look though, did she?
She was not allowed to look. No,
they're everywhere.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting.
That's cool.
That he had that little bit of nostalgia, and that place, it's packed to the brim. You can barely. I mean, I clip my head on. Freaking snow speeder.
Yeah.
They're so low to the ground. Took the Mason and Kennedy to IHOP for dinner the night that Kelly was at the hospital. We have an IHOP
house and an IHOP.
I know, bro. I was breakfast out, right?
How's your fucking arteries?
You're just playing neutral with all the different gangs.
That's right. I don't.
Did you go to Denny's too?
No, we didn't hit up a Denny's yet. Maybe this week. And I guess the way the service industry is right now, there were. I don't know. It was 7:00 on Thursday. There wasn't maybe 10, 15 people in there total. I think there was one waiter.
Wow.
And I bet you there was two people working in the back. And this kid busted his ass, man. But, they're begging people to come to work.
Yeah. I mean, when you have fast food places offering you a signing bonus.
I did read something.
I think it's... that's neither here. I think it's good.
I did read.
I mean, if they're that means they could have paid that money in the first place.
Well, yeah, but you think it's good
that people are getting paid, that people have to get paid more to work.
Yes,
that's why I mean at the end of the day, like, not that people aren't working because they'd rather collect free money. I'm not agree with that.
No, of course, I wasn't even saying that, but I think that it's like, because the first thing they did was raise the but you know what? I mean, there's something to be said for it, man. But the first thing they did was raise the money they were going to pay people, and then they had the signing bonus as well. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's like, man, for some, it's not about the money; it's about the work. Mm-hmm. But like at the same time, I'm also like there is an element to it all, right? Where like 2020 sat everybody down, and then some people were like, you know what? I don't want to do this shit anymore.
Yep.
And they're going to have to find some way to sustain life, but I'm not necessarily against that either.
Life finds a way.
It does.
Too much. You're done for Jurassic Park.
I did see something. I saw something the other day about the PPP loans.
Ooh.
That
talk to me about a PP.
If
a lot of people getting.
If you don't,
PP?
well, here's the premise of it: that all these places are advertising that they're hiring, but they're not hiring anybody because there's a break point where if you can't hire people, that becomes a grant, not a loan. So you don't have to pay that money back.
There's so much background fuckery to everything that has to do with money, man. That's why they say fucking money is root of all evil, but it's not though. It's the people. People deal with the money.
And greed is the root of all evil.
Yeah, that's it.
But money's the.
So I don't know if you guys know this. Starbucks does a holiday cup every year.
Yes,
this is the first year I've been aware of this. So it's a giveaway.
TikTok about how you know you're white.
Yep, this is it.
Well, they got in some trouble.
Oh, you're going to see how white I am in a minute.
There was a big deal about because they took Christmas off it.
Oh gosh,
and then like
stupid. So what?
Yeah, I don't care. Like
exactly.
People
pretend to care when they really don't.
It has not been about Christ for a very long time,
right?
So I knew this was happening, and we decide were me and Kelly going somewhere that day? I don't, because it seems like she was going to go do it, then I ended up doing anyways. So she puts in a mobile order, as she does on the Starbucks app, and then you just say, hey, you got order for Kelly.
Right.
So I go to our little Starbucks there in town, and I pulled up to the drive-thru, which is almost to the front of Safeway. And I wait through the drive-thru, and we'd ordered some food too. Get to the window finally, and the young lady says, all right, here's your food. And I'm like, I'm supposed to have some drinks. She's like, oh, you're going to have to come in for the drinks. We're so backed up. I'm like, God damn it.
That sucks.
Should have gone in first.
Yeah.
So I do go in, and these magnificent cups are... You remember those Realm cups we gave away that year? There's a little tumbler that had a Realm on it.
Yeah.
You know that quality of plastic?
Yeah.
Just imagine they're about the size of your thermos here. That same quality of plastic with a pretty nice snap-on lid. But I'm like, I'm not going to put hot coffee in this. Why did I wait in line to get this?
It's like those old fucking McDonald's collector's cups, the Batman cups. Yeah. I still have those.
So I'll tell you, our main source of beverage consumption are the Shrek glasses from McDonald's from years ago. We've actually bought them again. We found them at flea markets and stuff.
I still have a set of Batman Forever glasses from McDonald's that somebody gave me. I inherit all this shit from people like at work.
They're like, oh, you collect shit
you
here.
You like nerds, right?
Yeah. That's why I at one point had 4 sleeveless Goldberg t-shirts because people knew I liked wrestling. The last thing I have is I tried a new video game, and I'm just going to say I don't like it, and I'm not going to play it anymore. The God of War for the PS4, he's got a kid that he has with him.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that whenever I want. I don't need a video game to drag a kid around.
Have you seen
But he has a shuffle.
Have you seen Bad Batch?
No, I'm not. I don't know if I watch it at this point. But yeah, that's like I don't want.
It's a good story. I mean, I like.
Did you play it or just watch?
I watched.
I mean, it may be, but it's just like I don't feel like this is an entrance. This dragging this kid around that's going to help. I don't like that part of the story. So
okay, I mean that's part of the story because I think it's because a lot of us grew up kind of like in our teenage years playing that game.
Sure,
and a lot of us are at this age now with a kid.
I've ever played it.
So I think it speaks to the people who are now father age with children.
I could see that.
Now play.
It's also not a true open world. Like you
it's not.
Run on the paths.
It's got zones,
and I'm spoiled by now. So.
I know the feels. We're as usual, eye to eye.
That's right.
Except when we're standing, we're not eye to eye.
When I'm sitting, we're eye to eye. Bobby.
Well, let's go ahead and have the Dune conversation.
You want to ask?
What do you guys know about Dune?
Okay, so you want to go one for one?
Sure.
And we'll say whether or not we co-sign.
Hang on,
you didn't watch the original Dune movie.
Well, hang on. Is this Dune in general? Everything you know about
everything you know about Dune prior to me watching this film.
Okay. And you guys have both seen it, and I haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen the original.
Okay. And neither of us have seen the original.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So I'll start.
Okay.
It was a book.
I co-sign that.
Okay.
It's many books.
Okay.
Well, it was at least one.
There was at least one. So I guess partial credit.
Patrick Stewart,
Busta Rhymes, and Wu-Tang Clan.
And Redman and Method Man. They come together, bro.
Excuse me, Sir Patrick Stewart, before he was a sir, was in this film. In the original film.
I did not know that.
Yes. He was.
It is one of the huge inspirations, along with Flash Gordon and 12 Samurai or whatever, 7 Samurai and Dirty Dozen for Star Wars.
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
I'm correct in that.
I'm not sure. I know it's a big influence on Warhammer, though. 140K.
I think it is. I think the sand, the spice, like I think a lot.
The Navigators.
Well, we'll get there. Because hold on. That's part of my complaints. But, okay, your turn.
I think the original movie is very long.
How long do you think it is?
I think it's a 3-hour movie.
And you?
So I don't know. I think is the original movie the made-for-TV movie?
I thought it was
No, that's a movie.
Okay,
it came out around the same time as Star Wars.
So there was a made-for-TV movie as well.
That was much more recent, though.
Yes, but not super recent, like 90s.
Right. Yeah, that's not the one I'm talking about. I didn't watch that one.
Okay,
when people are talking about Dune, they think about the original movie.
Let me clarify.
So it came out the movie I'm referencing came out in
early 80s,
1984.
Okay, what about mine?
So what the
I haven't
TV
seen
series?
I haven't seen either.
Okay.
That it wasn't a TV series. It was a made-for-TV movie.
I thought it was a miniseries myself, but I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too.
Yeah, I don't know.
As far as in my mind's eye, it was a 2-part made-for-TV movie.
Or maybe,
and maybe I'm wrong about it, but I thought I remember it.
Okay. Well, how long do you think the original movie was?
I have no idea. 2 hours.
So you're right. It's about 2 hours. I think it might be around the same time as the new movie, or less even. But in all,
the new movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Right. In all of, so it's definitely shorter. So in all of our minds, it's a really long movie because it fucking drags out. It feels awful long when you're watching it. So like this new movie takes longer to cover half of the original movie.
We'll get there.
So it came out in 2000 on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's a mini series.
How many episodes?
Let me see.
Low count.
It was first broadcast on the Sci-Fi Channel and released on DVD. What the hell was it not?
Episodes.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
In my mind, because in my mind it was 2.
Yeah.
But so that one in my mind would have been about 3 hours, 3.5 hours.
Finding it.
But don't worry.
Oh, it's a 3-part science fiction miniseries.
Okay.
So,
and it had Children of Dune was the sequel, which I remember seeing that when I was in the film industry.
Yeah. So see there's more books.
Right. So and it says
this world, the Dune world, the book world, it takes place over like 14,000 years, and this is like one part.
Okay.
So it's a 2003 sequel. Was the second and third books kind of squeezed together?
Okay. And so let me.
What else you know about Dune?
There's a lot of sand in it.
It gets everywhere.
And sandworms.
Yes.
Yeah, I know about the worms because I'm pretty sure they terrified me as a child. Because around the same time there were
Dune is the sand and the worms.
There were worms crawling in people's ears in Star Trek, and that really fucked with me as a child.
That's all I know.
Okay.
I mean, I could name most of the cast, I think, from the new movie, but I don't know who they play. And I can tell you that the toys came out like 6 months ago and have already been clearanced out.
I don't know.
I think McFarlane made a bunch of posable statues. And I think that I don't know anything else about it.
The lead actor of the old Dune movie is the same dude in Striptease? No. Showgirls.
Now ask me what I know about Dune having seen this movie.
What do you?
Not much more.
Right. My fucking thing exactly.
So let's talk about this movie. Where do you grade it?
Overall, B-.
I give it a D. And let me say
because we have to take the whole thing into account, right? Not just the story, not just that. We're taking the whole movie as a film.
So let's talk about the good. Give me a good.
Visuals and sound.
Visuals are fucking amazing.
Sounds.
The palette, the color palette, the cinematography, the way it looks.
The directing.
Is fucking amazing.
The acting is good.
The acting is phenomenal.
So there's hold.
Okay.
With all those things, because a movie is made of many parts. Those are some big fucking parts of a movie. In order to give it a D, everything else must be like fucking below F. Because like those being able to say a movie has great cinematography, great visuals, great sound, and great acting should automatically give it a C at least.
I agree.
So that's why I gave it a B- because of all those things.
So with those things out of the way, I got one more thing I want to say that's somewhat positive about it. George fucking Lucas. That is what fucking Anakin should look like.
Yes. That's a good Anakin. Dude,
I'm panicking, Anakin. What am I missing here?
You haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it, but the guy who plays the Messiah type character, that is the caliber. That is how you should have played Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, and is that the younger guy?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He's the main character. He's like in his 20s, but he's playing like a teenager.
Yeah. So, with that being said,
how do you explain? Like,
I think you should tell me, because you're familiar with this material. You should tell me what your issues were, and then I'll go into my rant about my issues with this movie.
My main issue is that they didn't tell anyone it's part one. So okay, so we watched
To be fair, if I was to defend that, I would assume it was part one.
The old movie was a whole thing in shorter form.
But I never saw the old.
Right. Oh, but you didn't even know of it? You know that a movie existed, right? One movie existed.
Yes.
So you would think there's one story. There was never a sequel that you know of.
True.
From Dune.
So I wouldn't necessarily expect a sequel with this too, but I would just assume this was part 1 if there was more. Like,
okay, it wasn't announced.
Okay,
because, like,
right.
they didn't announce part 2 till after this came out.
Maybe in my 2020 eyes, 2021 eyes, I just assume everything's getting a sequel, and then in 10 years getting a reboot.
Okay, right. But I feel like if that's the case, they should tell you. Right? It should be episode 1 or whatever.
Or maybe even if it had a subline like Dune, the Rising of the Sun. Or something.
Exactly, but it didn't. So I watched it twice. I said first time. So I watched it again this past week. At the end of this time, they edited it. At the end of this time, it says end of part 1. It didn't used to say that. It didn't, as far as I remember, because Chris has terrible perception of like things, and she's like, it didn't used to say end of part 1. I was like, no, I didn't think so.
Interesting.
But that's one of my problems. 2 is it doesn't explain anything. It gives you a lot of questions. It doesn't explain anything.
You're talking my language, right? Give me some.
It is a part of a story, kind of a small, not much meat to dig into, almost shallow part of a story that seems like it's presenting as leads you to believe to be a very deep, engrossed story, which is the one I want.
Dude, let me say this. I fell asleep on this fucking movie 5 times. 5 different times I fell asleep on this movie.
I mean, it's part of the course for you, though, right?
That's somewhat fair. I watched the first 30 minutes of this movie 3 times.
Was it that bad?
No. It was that I fell asleep somewhere between the 30-minute mark and hour mark, but because every time I had no fucking idea what was going on, I was like, I'll just start it from the top. I'll just start it from the top.
Okay. That is a complaint I have.
I'll just start it from the top.
So after watching the first movie, Krista was interested. Oh, this world seems interesting. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, so I made her watch the first one. I didn't make her. She was interested in watching the first one. But wow, let me explain to her that this is not good. All right, this is not good. Just remember that the first half of this movie is this whole movie.
Right.
And if you watch the first half of the original Dune, it explains a lot of this movie.
So, whereas I've always been under the understanding that Dune was one of the major inspirations for Star Wars, in the same way that
it's supposed to be, yeah.
In the same way that Bambi was an inspiration for anime, and now Disney is being inspired by anime, should have done the same thing. I could have used a fucking opening scroll.
Yeah, I mean they had the narration from Zendaya at the beginning, but it doesn't tell you enough.
I have no fucking idea what that movie's about. I have no fucking idea. So I talked to a friend at work, and he helped explain a lot of it.
If you instead of starting over, if you watch, which would have taken the same amount of time, by the way, if you just watched it all the way through and then watched it again, you get a lot more the second time.
Because like. They don't explain who these characters are and who they are to the world. Like, there's
it's context clue that you're supposed to get, I think. Well, it's hard for me to say because I have a previous knowledge.
Yeah.
Right?
So I feel like I'm a good litmus test for this. I watch sci-fi movies. I am somewhat familiar with the genre. I sat down with no real, as we've already established, previous knowledge of this movie, and I understood fuck all.
So what do you understand of it now?
So all of it is because of my friend.
Well, yeah, which is fair. Like, I mean, I stopped to explain movies to Krista all the time.
There was a war at some point with humans versus AI, and the humans won.
Yeah, that you don't even really have to worry about in the greater scheme of things here.
So now AI is kept in super check. Like, technology is kept in super check.
You see how it is 40K's the same?
And it's being used along with, the spice is used to power most of the tech, if not all of the tech. So they're mining, the spice is only found on this one world, and they're mining that world for the spice.
Yes.
But there are natives that live on that world that have a much different relationship with the spice than the rest of the universe.
Yes.
The family that was sent there was kind of sent there seemingly as a punishment, but he was in war with this other family who's the fat guy that was in the bath.
Okay, you want me to explain?
Yeah.
First of all, like, the spice is used by the navigator to space travel. If you think of 40K, it's the same thing. And if you don't see it in this movie, maybe tune out if it's spoiler alerty for people. I don't know. I'm going to be explaining a little bit of just this.
It's been out for a month.
Not the second part. No, you don't see this.
Oh, okay.
Like the navigators, fucking huff spice and travel space are extremely powerful now because they're the ones in travel space. Everyone owes them money, basically. They pay them to do stuff, and they are like these fucking grotesque like monsters.
Okay.
Just like in 40K navigators become fucking monsters from traveling the warp. And it's an intergalactic empire, right? And we have an emperor.
Which we don't see in the movie, correct?
No.
Okay.
No, not in this movie.
Right.
There's an emperor who rules over all things and tell people what to do, right? Mm-hmm. But he's just human. He's just a person. So there's clans in this universe, powerful clans. Like, Atreides is a clan. The main kid,
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, he's the clan leader. All right, the fat guy is another clan leader of Harkonnens,
and they're related.
They fight. I mean, they're no.
But I felt like he called him cousin at one point. But I may have misunderstood.
But there are a lot of clans, many smaller, less powerful clans. Everybody loves Oscar Isaac. The Emperor feels threatened, right?
Who?
The Emperor.
Okay.
Feels threatened.
Okay.
Pulled the Harkonnens out, told Oscar Isaac, be like, all right, you did great. You can take over the planet now. You can watch over this planet and get all this money because whoever is there mining spice gets all the money. That's why Bautista was mad at the beginning. It's like, how can they take this away from us? We own this planet forever. And the fat guy's like, yeah, this is our planet, but when it's a gift, not a gift, is what he says in the movie, in the line, is because the Emperor sent Oscar Isaac there to fucking die.
Right.
Because like later, the fat guy came with the people in the white suits are Emperor's guards. The Emperor's personal army came to support the Harkonnens and wiped out Atreides, wiped out Oscar Isaac's clan because he was worried that all the small clans were just going to back Oscar Isaac into overtaking the Emperor. And the prophecy is that this kid
is going
to rise up.
That's so much more interesting than the movie I watched.
Okay. I would just explain to you in terms I think you know. And the kid, it's hard. Like I said, if you watch it again when the second part comes out, the whole thing, if you watch the first, you'll pick up a lot of this. And the kid is basically saying, well, I will fucking marry the Emperor's fucking daughter who's unwed and become the new Emperor, and I will make this place a fucking paradise. And he's a religious figure. People think he's
like a messiah.
And he does have sort of superpowers.
Yes, with the spice. He's a different reaction almost to it. Seems.
And also he has the voice because he has the bloodline of the
Jesuits or whatever.
Exactly. They're like witches, but they have been breeding. They've been carefully breeding many places. They're very powerful. They're the truthsayers. They're the power. They're in all these political parties, and they've been breeding and breeding and breeding to make an ultimate savior. And it wasn't supposed to be this kid, but it turns out it's probably going to be this kid because the mom was supposed to have daughters only. They're all supposed to have daughters only so they can keep fucking and breeding. But she decided to have a son with Oscar Isaacs, and also they could have Dune, the planet, could have been a paradise. They were terraforming it, and then they found spice, and they were like, fuck this planet, it's going to stay a desert because we want spice. That's where the people
they don't explain that well enough at all. I have none of those things.
Does it sound like a much more interesting story?
How do you know? Do you know that from the first movie?
It's 3 things.
Okay.
I watched this movie twice.
Okay.
Because the first time I complained, I was like, they didn't tell me enough, even though I already know what it's supposed to tell me.
Yeah.
So I watched it again. It's like, okay, it's there. You just have to really be paying attention and really just thinking and connecting the dots the whole time.
I bet you there's a watch this before you watch the movie on YouTube.
2, I've seen the old movie. I went back to watch the old movie again. I haven't watched the old movie in like 2 decades. So I went to watch it again with Chris. And it's like, oh yeah, this explains a lot. So if you watch the old Dune movie, the first half of the old Dune movie, and then watch this movie, you'll be in good shape. The second half of the Dune movie is atrocious. It's why you think it's 3 hours long.
Well, is it a sequel or a remake?
It's a reboot.
It's a reboot. It's not tied to the Patrick Stewart.
No.
No, because they're all both based on books.
Complete reboot.
So this, I think, is more accurate to the books.
But let me say this:
and 3 I've read the books when I was in high school.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that.
Laura didn't like it either, right? Because she couldn't make any sense of it. It and we watched it. It's not like we were like playing on our phones or anything.
Right.
We watched it.
Yeah.
She didn't like it either. She couldn't understand it. We kept asking each other, like, what does that mean? But like, I have no fucking idea.
But I had to explain the whole, like, you didn't have someone just explaining something to you the whole time we were watching a movie.
When the movie was over, Laura said that was awful. And I said to her, and I said, it was. However, I feel like it could be like Game of Thrones' first 3 episodes, where I was like, it's too much. I don't understand it. But by the time you get to the end of the first season, you're like, I got it.
So I had in my mind I was going to rewatch Game of Thrones, and I couldn't get through the first episode. I'm like, this is so fucking boring.
And it's hard. It's hard to understand, too, if coming into that with no knowledge. So I think it has the potential to be great, depending on where they take the rest of it.
It should be a 3-part movie, really.
But in a vacuum, it does not work.
That's why I keep saying it's fucking overrated. People who are hyping it up either loves visual aspect of theatricals, or know about Dune already, are fans of either the book or whatever, and they're going into it biased.
So my buddy that broke down for me what he knew of it, and he's no expert on it either, but he just like he read the book like when he was in high school. So he doesn't remember a ton of it, but he said
that do a good job of telling you the story of. Does that make sense now?
Yes. He told me basically this movie ends where it probably should have started.
So are they telling? Is this movie?
This is very important part of setting up the universe of the world.
But I feel like how much of that could I got in a scroll? You know what I mean? Like that's what I wonder. Like,
well, I guess everything I just explained to you could have been a long fucking scroll.
Yeah. So that I watched Dune. I didn't care for it.
You gave it a D though.
Yeah. Because I watched something that was
that
beautiful.
Graduates, bro.
I didn't understand.
In Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. These get degrees. Like it was watchable. My issue with it is I didn't understand what I was watching. I was watching something beautiful that I didn't understand.
So you're going to watch it again when part 2 comes out?
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure it's going to be 3 parts. If at this pace, it should be 3 parts.
Well, they've already announced they're doing a sequel. I mean, the sequel is greenlit.
2023 though, right?
After the first movie came out.
That'll be here next week. Don't worry.
The thing is that like the main objective of every story is to tell a story.
Unless it's only part of a story, which it is.
But even that, it should do a successful job of telling that part of the story. And it didn't for me because I had to ask my friend, what was I supposed to be seeing there?
2 different people now.
2 different friends.
Yeah.
I had to ask my friends. So yeah, but acting was great. Visuals were great. So I played pickleball. Have you ever played this? Are you familiar with this?
My teeth are long, Bobby, but they're not that long.
It's like a tickle bug?
No, I've seen it.
Very different.
I've seen it played, and I understand the general concept.
It's like tennis for old people.
I want to know how you got to the pickleball court.
I was at a buddy of mine's house.
Did you accidentally buy some pickleball? Did you buy some pickleball shoes on accident?
No, I was at a buddy of mine's house.
Okay,
and they didn't have a whole lot going on. He had some other friends there, and he was like, "Well, I did buy this pickleball net, just in case, you know." And I was like, "What is that?" And he's like, "It's like table tennis without the table, or like tennis without the exercise." And I was like, "I'll try it." And
Bobby's like, "Yes, badminton, right up my alley."
So like we sat there, and I had a fucking blast. I played for 2 hours.
Explain what this is.
I've seen. I'll tell you my experience is there's a gym I joined in Mount Airy mainly because I wanted to play basketball. But every time I wanted to play basketball, they had pickleball scheduled, so I never got to. But I watched them sometimes.
It's like tennis, except you play with 4 people instead of 2 people. In the
doubles tennis,
and the court is
quadruples tennis.
Yeah, it's doubles tennis, but the court is far smaller. The net is shorter. And the ball is a plastic, like wiffle ball almost, instead of like a tennis ball. So it can get fast, but not tennis ball fast.
So like, what's the difference in badminton?
Well, you're not going up in that shuttlecock.
Shuttlecock.
Yeah,
it's a very slow sport also.
Yeah, but this is faster than that. It's faster than that. But like, anyway, a couple things interesting.
That's a lot of physical activity you did there.
So I text my wife and I was like, I just play pickleball. I was like, do you know what that is? And she was like, I work with old people. And I was like,
I've never heard of this, by the way.
So I hadn't either.
And I work with old people.
Yeah. So anyway, but also what's interesting is how sore I was afterwards, like the next day.
Your body is not used to their ways.
And that's what it is. Because I'm like, it's like hip movements and stuff that I was like, that I'm just not doing. You know,
not using those muscles in that way.
Correct. You know, and it's just interesting to me that like at 40-year-old, I was like, oh, fuck, isn't that weird? But anyway, I had a blast. Let's see what else.
Remember
there are world championships for pickleball.
That means there's world championship for like whatever the Harry Potter game is.
And what was that? Hobby horse?
Hobby horse world champion, yes.
I'm showing Joe a video of just...
No, that actually looks fun. They should call something else other than pickleball, because pickleball sounds like the one I don't want to play with.
I agree. So I watched a documentary series on Amazon.
Oh,
and it should have been shorter.
It's about Amazon or is on Amazon?
On Amazon. Okay. It should have been shorter.
The company, not the forest.
Correct.
Or the ladies.
Correct.
Okay.
It should
Much less interesting now.
It should have been shorter. However, it was exceptional.
That's what she said.
That's what you said. You're saying that your girl said. That would have been a good one. Anyway, it was called Lula Rich, and it's a documentary about LuLaRoe or LuLaRoe or whatever it is. Like, which was basically. Have you ever heard of LuLaRoe or LuLaRoe?
Lululemons.
Give me some reference.
Similar. So it was a pyramid scam, still is to some extent, disguised as a multi-level marketing platform, where basically housewives felt empowered.
Is this the leggings?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I know about this.
And it was started by Mormons. I didn't know that, but what's funny is
Mormons again.
The hierarchy of the LuLaRoe. It ends up kind of mirroring the Mormon religion and how
I watched.
It's fascinating.
I think I watched a YouTube video about this. Generally, that probably told me the same amount of information you got from this very long
probably. But it's just how shady and sketchy these fucking people are, how money hungry they are, how they fucked so many people.
So figuratively.
Yes,
and literally? Maybe?
No, it is Mormons, but no. They my buddy that I sold the Zune to, so to speak, his wife did it, like LuLaRoe. Like, I remember when she did it, like I remember her going live on Facebook and she was making her exciting announcement, and I love that dude. I'm not saying I love her too. She's great. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but she's had a couple of entrepreneurial endeavors that haven't all. She's always got an entrepreurial. It's
Scams
like a
are
joke.
Successful for a reason. It means get certain people to
right. So, but I highly if you like to see just the rise and fall of empires, and like people get hurt along the way, and
Star Wars.
Yeah, if you like, which I do, I know it's horrible, which I do. I highly recommend it. Lastly, I have not lastly, but I have a Hulu account now. Not thanks to you, Joe. Although you did provide me with one, I never took advantage of. I upgraded my phone, so I have an iPhone 13 coming like next week, I think. And with it, I got a Hulu plan. Like it came. It's a bundle. It's a big fucking bundle.
I just found out that I apparently got, for doing something with Apple, a free Apple TV for a year, like nice. the Apple Plus. So there's actually a couple things in there I want to watch. So.
Mine comes with Shudder though, which is something you would never use probably.
So I say all that to say this: with the Hulu, I did the first logical thing that you would do, bringing it back to the beginning of the show. I started watching the Wu-Tang show.
I didn't even know that was a Wu-Tang show.
It's called Wu-Tang Clan: An American Saga.
It is a
drama. It's
dramatized documentary. Not even documentary.
No,
it's just a dramatized story
of the Wu-Tang story, and it is fucking amazing.
Are everyone playing themselves?
No.
Okay.
No.
Some of them
end up playing themselves, if you know what I mean. So I don't know who's playing ODB, but I can tell you this: he's harnessing the spirit of that motherfucker, dude. Like, it's sometimes where I can't tell it's not him.
That's
like
racist.
It's no, not at all. But like so I started.
That's top tier acting then,
dude. So and not all of it. Not all of it is. I just want to put that.
ODB is.
But ODB is. So I typed in a Google about the show because I wanted to learn a little bit more about the creators and such, and everything that kept popping up was like the show on Hulu that makes Hulu worth subscribing to, like all of this stuff. And you know what? They're not wrong. This is the first show experience I've had probably since I don't know, something like Sopranos or something like that, where like I'm having a hard time putting my phone down. I took a walk, my walk this morning. I watched it on the walk. Like, it's so. I'll tell you what's great about it. If you grew up in the 90s, you remember the impact of Wu-Tang Clan. Like you know how important they are. My concern about it, hearing that it was going to be done, was the speed at which they were going to move through it.
Okay.
They're not. it's so slow, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right. It's they're taking time to digest.
They're taking their time and like really building up the different characters and how their relationships end up interweaving and how they end up kind of becoming this big conglomerate when it turns out that like half of them were at war with each other before they were in the same group together. Like one of them literally shooting the other one's house.
Wow.
Like it's incredible.
So like based on a scale of 1 to 10 based on true story accuracy.
So I don't know yet. It's too soon to tell. And a lot of this stuff I was never privy to because it's like the before music stuff.
So have you dug into the background of the show? Or is any of
all of them?
They're all involved in it?
Almost all of them.
So how much is it going to affect you? Like, are you going to be disappointed if you find out like a lot of this is dramatized, or like how important is it that it's accurate to you?
So as long as the spirit is right, like I don't need to know that Raekwon shot up Ghostface's house, but if Raekwon was even talking that way, like I'm going to shoot the shit out of his house, I'm good with that, how they dramatize that. Because it's the thought, right? It's like you hated this motherfucker this much that you were willing to do it, and then you became the closest of friends,
I just looked up the pictures, and they did a really good job, it looks like, on the casting. The most surprising thing I saw there was that the Jizz's real name is Gary Earl.
Well, a lot of their names, like
Gary Earl.
Raekwon's name is Corey. Method Man's name is Clifford.
I knew that. I knew his name was Clifford.
Ghostface name is Dennis. And a lot of it has to do with the time they were born.
Yeah.
It's like last names, man.
But it shows you how it shows you for those that know, the Genius and RZA had music careers prior to Wu-Tang Clan, and we're just getting to that part now, and I'm at episode 9 of season 1, and season 1's only like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And then they just like, dude, it's just fascinating to me to see these like little things that happen that kind of like, you remember when Dr. Manhattan gave that speech to Silk Spectre on Mars when he was like, she was like, you don't believe in shit. You're just science and logic and everything has to, and he was like, no, I was wrong. Billions and billions of people had to come together in a certain way with billions and billions of sperm and billions of eggs in order to bring you to this moment. You are a miracle. Like, it's that type of shit with this, where it's like none of this should have happened by but it's like this little event happens and it changes the whole trajectory of like 100 people, and before you know it, it funnels down into like this kind of perfect machine. I
have a recommendation for Hulu for you when you get done with that.
What else? I'm making my list.
Well, it
checking it twice, bro.
I know you like neurotic characters, and I know you like hip hop music. So I think you need to watch Dave.
Is that the Little Dicky show?
It's the Little Dicky show.
Yeah.
There's 2 seasons, I think. I watched first season. I'm about halfway through the second season. Not because I'm not enjoying it. It's one of those things I keep forgetting to watch.
None of us.
But I think you'll enjoy it.
Maybe
it's. The reason I say that is I know how much you like Curb, and it's like there's a lot of cringe in that.
Yeah.
This is
fucking Bobby lives off of cringe, bro.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to mention was I watched Toy Story 4 also.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. The other thing I was going to mention was Cats in the Cradle, right? Came up last week. By the way, huge influx in my inbox regarding Aquafina. People hate her. Hate the shit out of her. Like, in fact, apparently she has an Awkwardfina is a commonly used name in reference to her.
Really?
But like, yeah, it was no good. Even if people that disagreed with my take on the film, which is also fine.
Yeah, same. I got people saying that. I agree that the movie was good and they liked it, but she's awful.
Yeah, I got a lot of she's awful. Anyway, so Cats in the Cradle
and the Silver Spoon.
I just want to. I was listening back to the show where we talked about it, and I was having this memory popped in my head. I remember being in Dobbin Center when it used to be a Kmart there.
This is where the blockbuster was.
Fill us in now.
It was in the city where I grew up in Columbia, and
it's like a strip mall.
Yeah, basically.
Kind of. It's kind of big. It's like an
L.
Yeah.
But it's large. It has like 2 different anchor stores.
Okay. But it was an outside thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And my dad had the radio on, and we were leaving Kmart. And Cats in the Cradle came on, and it was the first time that I really sat and listened to it as a young person. And I told him, I remember telling him, this song is stupid. And my dad saying like, why? And I don't think I gave him an honest answer, but I remember clearly thinking in my head, I would never fall out this hard with you. And now here I am at 40. Not that we've fallen out, but we've fallen out.
It's more about the distance than falling out.
But that's what I mean. That's
growing old. Yeah,
you know, and it has, and mine has nothing to do with growing up, growing old. It just has to do. He won't pick up the phone and call me. It's ironic because it's the opposite. It's the inverse of the song.
Yeah.
But like it was just interesting. It came like the memory. I hadn't thought about it in years, but it was crystal clear. So yeah. So then, and I think that's it. If anything pops up, I'll.
None of us watched Tiger King season 2.
No, it's on my list. I think it came out. I think
it came out Friday.
Yeah,
it came out Friday.
When I texted you guys, I'm like, I didn't even know this was a thing, and Netflix told me, "Hey,
yeah, me too."
Tiger Sings.
I got a notice on my phone.
It's on my list. We do have some notes. Nothing too crazy, but we did have
nothing too crazy. Or you just pared it down a lot.
Yeah, with that too. Pam and Tommy. Did you see the trailer for that?
Who? No, because I didn't know if I could watch it with my kids around. To be honest,
it's a mini series based on the scandal between based on the porn basically.
Are they even relevant anymore?
Well, I mean, there was a movie about Tanya Harding that came out not too long ago that was super successful when she wasn't relevant.
Yeah, and there was a pretty successful.
Neither is Wu-Tang.
True. There was a pretty successful documentary about Motley Crue not long ago. So.
I didn't even
but Sebastian Stan,
Ray Charles is not relevant either. But there was a movie called Ray. It was also super successful.
Well, he's legendary though.
This porn is legendary. It was the first of its kind.
It was the first porn I ever watched with another dude. To be honest, I'm just saying like we sourced it. We found the store who had it, and we all just wanted to see it. You know, it was like 4 or 5 of us together. On VHS in a dude's apartment.
But like, I mean, that shit is like, for all the celebrity sex tapes that came out. I mean, it was like the first,
yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it looks great. Like the trailer for it looks great. The people that play the two look.
It's Sebastian Stan, isn't it?
Is it?
I think that's who's playing Tommy.
He's doing a great job because it looks just like him. I'm interested. It looks like it's going to be a good show.
They're going to have a big prosthetic dick.
I don't know. It's gonna be like a
Pepperidge Farm.
The vibe of it kind of seems like Boogie Nights, where it's like it looks like it's gonna be kind of funny, kind of fun, but also heavy when it needs to be. Like it looks like a quality show from first.
Is that a Netflix?
No.
Who's doing that?
Of course not, because it looks good.
No, the trailer looked good.
Yeah, the trailer looked good too. Hulu.
Okay. Well, look out, man. You're just locked and
I'm the Hulu guy now, man.
Hulu guy.
Let's see. So anyway, I'm gonna watch it. Then there was the Shang-Chi deleted scene. Did you guys watch this at all?
I didn't even know about it.
I
don't hear about news, man. I don't fucking know about shit.
So it was basically the Razor Fist guy.
Oh, I did see.
No, I didn't. Well, tell me about it. I'm not gonna watch it.
One of your complaints last week was they don't resolve that, right? That he just isn't there anymore.
Well, he dies in it, right? Or does he not?
No, he was fighting with the Asian people alongside Asian people against the tentacle monsters.
So in the deleted scene, Awfulfina is hiding, and he goes up to her and basically coaches her out of it. And says something like it's unearned also, but says something like you got heart. I can see it. Get out here and fight. She gets out there and fight, and then he tosses her the bow. Like he kind of empowers her to be the hero, as it were, before he's killed by the bats. I don't know if it's better or worse for it. It's like at least it explains her kind of growing a set of balls out of nowhere. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm not sure if I believe that either. So. I don't feel like the movie suffers for it.
I think it's fine without it.
I don't
know if it adds anything. It just changes stuff.
I think it's bad either way. But that part of it, that component of it.
Speaking of the empowerment and savior type, like I forgot to mention, like I didn't think about it the first time around, but I did think about it the second time around. That was like a white savior situation.
This movie, Shang-Chi?
No, Dune.
Oh, there's
a white guy coming to a desert planet full of brown people to come save their savior.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it the first time around, but the second time around it stood out to me. I'm like, oh, these fucking bunch of white colonizers are coming over to. They also do it. Like there's been many men who's passed over here.
Many men wish death upon me. I don't know no more. I don't look to the sky no more. But yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess so. Is that I don't know.
I mean, it's very on the nose.
Yes. I mean, it is a classic trope of a savior character, the chosen one.
It's just weird. It's just weird. I didn't think of when I was younger either.
I didn't know, and I don't know enough about the material. Like, are they all of a particular? Because there's like obviously like there's Middle Eastern looking people, there's black people.
I mean, there's all like
Mary Jane.
Not seem to be all not white people that comes on the planet, and then all the people that comes are either white or like white. The Harkonnens were just fucking pale.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And then there was the No Way Home trailer.
Oh yeah,
Spider-Man trailer.
Yep, I probably watched it we watched it twice back to back. Like we were waiting on the trailer.
Sorry, one more thing on Dune.
Yeah,
God damn it!
I got you. There's one Asian guy in the movie, which is not my complaint. Right, it's fine because like it would have been fine even if there was no Asian guys because of the dynamics of the movie. There's one Asian guy in it, and his role is not his role as in him acting, but like his role in the story. I mean,
he's a villain. He's a villain.
He was the betrayer.
Yeah, the betrayer.
Like, God, come on, man, please. You give me one Asian guy, and that's the role you put him in. Come on now.
Yeah. Like I'm happy that I don't view media through that lens unless I'm trying to think about how people are going to tweet about it.
Oh, okay, so I don't think about in terms of how other people react. It's just that these things just stand out to me because I don't know it's because I'm not white or because of the way culture is now.
Because like there's
like I know like
let me give you an example. Crash. Do you remember the film Crash?
Yep.
Yes.
Won a ton of awards.
Yes.
Super successful.
Yes. Really weird movie.
I ran into a buddy of mine one time.
Is it weird?
I thought it was weird.
Brandon Fraser was in it, right?
I don't remember.
Gina Gershon was in it.
And they were like, it's a good movie. I just wish it wasn't what it was. And I was like, well, what was it? And it was like, well, it was a movie that basically the metaphor is that white people are the cause of all the problems. And I was like, what? And then he broke down every scenario, and he wasn't wrong. But once again, I'm happy I don't see the movie through that lens. Yeah. That I can just go and enjoy a movie without taking into account what every hashtag is going to be. But just like it does happen, and it happens to everybody. And I get exhausted, I think, with all of that shit. Like,
I mean, I don't look into it or like discuss with other people. It's just things I personally notice for myself.
Yeah.
And I talk about here because
no. It makes sense to it makes sense to talk about it here. But I guess I just feel like I'm glad I didn't watch NWA like the Straight Outta Compton. And then afterwards be like, oh God, you see the way they portrayed Jerry Heller? He helped these young gentlemen out of the street, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm just happy. I'm like, man, like, what an interesting look at all of this shit. And for the most part, it's only when I force myself to put these lenses on, and I hate somehow that like sometimes I put the lens on because I'm preparing myself for what the temperature is going to be. When it's just exhausting. But speaking of something that looks exhausting to me, I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. But did you see the Spider-Man trailer?
Joe doesn't
Green
watch
Goblins
trailers. Joe doesn't watch trailers.
I see stills of things.
I've watched it in detail several times and watched a video or two on it too.
So I haven't watched a video or two on it. I've watched it once, and that once was today.
I do need to speak on Spider-Man for a moment.
Okay.
And I totally forgot about this from my Nerd Week. Mason and I had plotted a strategy to try to watch all the existing Spider-Man movies prior to seeing the new one. We could not get through Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2. The acting is
two.
The acting is so
really.
Oh my God! I haven't gone back.
I have fond memories. But we couldn't get through it.
Wow.
We couldn't get through.
You could get through 3?
We didn't know.
No,
we haven't gotten. We did the first one.
Was it okay?
It was fine. It's campy. But this one is just.
I was gonna give you the fucking dozens if you could make it through 3 and couldn't.
No,
I forget. I was locked and loaded. I was like, how many Fast and Furious films are there? I was headed that way.
Well, so there's 9 plus the spinoff of The Rock. But we couldn't. The acting is just
wow. Damn,
actually,
I remember it fondly. Like,
yeah,
I remember it being a good one.
We might have broken ourselves because we watched the original trailer for it, and it's just like the trailer's so bad. We're like, why would anybody want to see this based on this trailer?
Interesting.
Just the way, and its trailers are cut different now. Obviously.
Sure.
Also, like, you haven't seen everything that came after.
True.
At that point,
you have now seen everything. That
it wasn't anything to do with the effects. It was just the acting is so bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch those. But
yeah. So the new movie's coming.
Don't ruin my childhood, bro.
I will say this:
I thought I was a child.
I will go to the theater and watch this movie.
Awesome. I will let you know when we're planning on going and see if we can work that out.
Yeah. That being said, it has me at that level of excitement.
Awesome. I am glad to hear. Do we have an applause button here?
Not yet.
God damn! Of everything, no applause, no positive things on here.
It's all hillbilly music, animal noises, and gunshots. That's the name of the episode.
Because I haven't got it where I need it to be.
Hillbilly noises.
Woo!
Chewy. Hold my beer.
Them Darios.
But I'm not like pumped. Like I'm like, oh, I'll go to the movies to see this. Mm-hmm. That scene, and I've seen people Photoshop it and stuff, but the scene where he looks like he's taking on all the villains at once, it does look like other characters are going for imaginary invisible Spider-Man.
So I think they had not dropped the other
right. They're hiding.
Shit. Andrew Garfield was on the Today Show the other morning for something else he's doing. I think he's doing a biopic about the guy who did the Rent, who wrote Rent. Okay. Mm. And like he learned how to sing for the movie. And anyways, they ask him, and he's like, no, I'm not in it. I love what they're doing over there, but I'm pretty sure.
Of course, he's in it.
Lying.
What if it really wasn't him, and they just superimposed his face on? You don't need actors.
Well, that was it. And the other thing, me and Mason were talking about, I was like, what if the dudes are in, and they never take off their masks? Yeah, they just pay them to do the voice acting.
But I think that. So I think they're all going to be in it. Like you haven't seen it, but like the Lizard, it's the Lizard. Mm-hmm. Like Spider-Man, not Tobey Maguire, the new kid is
Tom Holland
is swinging up at the top against Electro, or like
and the Sandman's in the Sandman.
Like they're and he's like swinging right at him, and they're both. And then down below is the Lizard just jumping towards nothing.
Well,
I mean, lizards do that. To be fair,
it showed up on Twitter. I guess some other country's cut of that. It shows him diving and then obviously getting hit by someone.
Oh, really?
So he takes a bump.
It's just like you guys aren't hiding shit at this point.
I mean, you never seen a cat just like jump at nothing and then bounce off the wall?
Yeah.
Well, there's no wall.
No.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to see. But I'm gonna go see it. Let's see, and then I think that's it for notes.
I think it's smart to generate, but I think they did. I'm sure they did, knowing that people are going to see that there's supposed to be something there, and then talk about it.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready for questions?
Let's do it.
Paul C. In or are you tards?
Oh my God, is that PC nowadays?
Well, I think it's a play on nartards.
Or unitards.
Let's say unitards. Let's say you're stuck in a conversation with someone who is being very passionate, but they're just plain wrong. Do you just let them?
we're on this show
all the time. Please.
Have you met this guy named Bobby?
Do you just let them be wrong so that you can leave the conversation the easier or less confrontational way, or are you the type that has to correct them? Can you give any examples of how you typically handle things, or perhaps more interestingly, the ones that made you change up the way you typically act in those situations? In the past, Bobby has mentioned how, oh God, I feel like this is going to go bad towards him. Bobby has mentioned how he likes to pretend he's on board, all while drawing attention to how they are wrong. Joe has mentioned holding his tongue when he hears idiots around him at work, and I'm sure Pinkerton also has good stories from working retail. I imagine it happened a lot in the movie industry, and I'm sure Dante has some stories about idiot.
He just slaps him. He just reach over and just slap him and stop him. Look, how do you think we drag this fucking show out to 2-3 hours every week?
It's telling Bobby he's wrong. Bobby Skullface. Let's change the name of this show. Bobby Skullface is wrong. Let's do it.
If we just like stop arguing about random shit when we know someone's wrong, the show would be like half an hour.
And I know Bobby will probably, to an extent, depending on the situation. I've seen you. I won't name where I was, but I saw you someone called Michael Jackson a child molester, and you back that down with facts really quick in a situation that I was not expecting that to happen. But he was like, nope, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah, I feel like Bobby has certain chambers loaded at all times ready to fire, and that's one of them.
The Michael Jackson defense bullet.
Yeah.
No, for
What'd
me,
you say about episode 8?
For me, it's when I have a casual conversation with someone that I don't consider to be, I consider them to be somewhat of a normie, and they're explaining something to me about nerd culture as if I don't know, and they're mostly either they're not wrong, but they only know like 10% of what I know. And a lot of the time, it's not worth it to me to just back down and say, yeah, well, actually, or not even actually. Yeah. In addition to that, here's the other nut. It's like you're happy knowing 10% and you're smiling while you're talking about this. I'm not going to overload you with anything else and just say, yeah, man, I enjoyed it too.
Sometimes I'll give them the, that's an interesting take. And then I'll be like, let me tell you what I think it's saying, you know. And then
45 minutes later, people, and then these people need to answer that question.
You know, like
what do you do when someone hyper aggressively replies to your innocent comment?
Captive audience.
Sometimes, like you know, and wrong with the subjective stuff is always ridiculous, right?
Yes.
But like sometimes what I'll do is I try to paint the anti-picture of what they're saying in order to make them subscribe to that, only to turn that back around to their first point and then say that's why I feel different. And I've gotten it to work a few times. The one time that this guy like hated episode 8, right? And not a huge Star Wars fan, but hated episode 8 for all the political reasons, right? And he you know. And I was like, do you find it at all interesting that you think that this movie is making all of these political statements and they're destroying the movie, but they also happen to be your political beliefs? You know, and then he like paused for a second. He's a smart dude. And he paused for a second and he was like, you know what? Maybe it's for the best. And he was like, maybe it's best. He's a very conservative person, but he was like, maybe it's best that conservatives don't make entertainment because I don't like country music.
Yeah, that's fair.
There was another example that I have. I hate talking about stuff like this, but I'll go ahead for the sake of it. Right, we were talking about minorities and in a very general sense. And this guy, there was minorities at the table. It wasn't like a all white room, but
just like this table.
Yeah, well, 2 white and 1 white adjacent. But like there was
2.5.
There was
I'm literally adjacent to 2 whites right now.
Anyway, he was talking about how he doesn't like when people use their race as a crutch for things that are wrong with their circumstances, that like they're using it as an excuse, you know? And it was a debate that went on, and look, I'm not really for excuses in general. But I'm also like to me, it's not about what's right and wrong in regards to that shit. It's like, let's have the conversation about it and see, maybe dissect it a little bit and see if race is a factor here, or maybe it's not here, or maybe it sometimes is.
It's culture sometimes.
Yeah. So, but anyway, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I know that where this gentleman works, they are trying to diversify his workforce. And I just shifted and slowly, like a piece of Play-Doh, just molded it over, I'm calling it, but the course of an hour and a half.
Oh shit.
To get into him saying the reason why his nephew didn't get hired for this particular job was because he was white. And I was like, maybe we are more alike than we are different,
Damn.
Where I just slow rolled this, because the thing is
That
like
takes fucking too much time and effort, bro.
a lot of us, I happen to have the time, right? At that moment. But a lot of us, I think that humanity in general, we like different roles, right? Like sometimes we like to be the hero. We want to be the one that saves the day, that figures out the tech problem, that, you know, whatever the case is. Sometimes we want to be the victim. Sometimes we want a little sympathy, you know?
Yep.
And I think that we're all guilty of it. And I think that we're all innocent of it. Like it depends on the circumstance. So that's one example that I got to give. Anybody else?
I mean, usually I just I literally ignore. Like, this one dumbass at work. I literally don't, like, pretend he's not talking to me, and he eventually goes away.
Wow.
But not all the time. I don't ignore his existence, but like he goes on like random tangents and rants, and I'll just like start working, and I'll just stop, and he'll go away.
He just gets the point of it.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of patience on your end, though.
I mean, it's easy because I literally just shut down. I tune him out.
I'm not good at that.
Oh, you can't just make someone background noise, bro?
No, it's like zoning out like a nails on a chalkboard or something. It's like, This is from Lance. He says, "Morning, guys. I'm in a lovely debate in Discord this morning and thought this would be a great one to ask you all. Who would win in a fight between Voldemort, Sauron, Apocalypse, Thanos, and Darth Vader? None of them can summon their armies, and they are all at their peak powers. Thanos does not have the Infinity Stones."
Oh, he's nothing without it. Doom proved that.
He says, "Darth Vader and Voldemort are nixed right away for me. They just get annihilated by Thanos, Apocalypse, and Sauron. I feel that Sauron would hold his own, but I feel like Thanos and Apocalypse would team up and defeat him in order to fight each other. Then I feel like Thanos would beat Apocalypse. What do you all think? P.S. I don't think there's really one right or wrong answer. I just think it's fun to hear everyone's different takes on who would win and why."
I mean, you were talking about Sauron with one ring outside of it being stuck in the tower. Dude, by the way, it's hilarious when like the tower's falling at the end and you see the little eyeball just like fucking looking around.
It's awesome.
It's like, oh shit, somebody catch me.
Guys. Yeah, but is it Sauron?
Wait, which version of it?
Yeah, let's say the human version with the powers, with the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going Sauron.
Yeah, man, he's a fucking magician, bro.
Yeah, like
he got like literally magic.
I don't think Thanos. My personal opinion is I don't think Thanos is going to last as long as he thinks he is. And I think it'll come down to Apocalypse and Sauron.
I mean, Apocalypse is the first. He's super powerful.
Yeah.
I was going to say Apocalypse out of that.
Yeah. I think Vader does get nixed right away.
Yeah.
It depends. And where is Vader in relationship to other? Like, who has the high ground? Is what I'm asking.
I mean,
it matters.
It does matter for him.
And then who was the other person that was in that?
Voldemort.
I don't know enough.
You've seen all the movies, haven't you?
I have, but he's a snake.
He's
guy?
got magic too.
Yeah,
he's got the no face guy.
You know, he doesn't have the nose for this kind of work.
But yeah, I'm going with Sauron.
Yeah, Thanos without the fucking rings is just a really big dude, right?
He's got some cosmic power. I think, like he could shoot like energy beams out of his hands. It's like
he can.
I feel like
I don't
know enough about him with that. Who cares about Thanos without the stones, really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just remember that when Doom ripped his skeleton out of his body.
But you know what's that was great. But
when Thanos said, "I don't need the stones to beat you," and he was like, "I proved that to be wrong."
Yeah, he said that appears to be untrue.
Yeah, bro. So we know Thanos ain't much without his fucking stones.
What's funny is when I first read that question in my head, I thought it was Sauron, like the green pterodactyl guy from X-Men. I was like, when did he get so strong?
the Savage Land guy, dude. That's all. When the fucking pterodactyls were walking on the bridge, all I could think about was Sauron.
Let's all admit that Sauron, if he was there, he would get nixed before Vader.
Bro,
that's probably true.
This is from Shane G. He says, "Not a story, just a thank you. Good morning, Nerd Ragers. I wanted to share something with you guys, a small moment in time. Today's a tough day for me. My grandmother passed away earlier in the week, and without getting into a lot of detail of the relationship I have at the side of the family, that being my dad's side, is quite strained. I found out earlier in the week through a cousin that my father made a decision to leave me and my daughter off the obituary. Needless to say, it hurt, but still going to the funeral today out of care of the rest of the family, that et cetera, which I understand. Mm-hmm. This morning, I listened to this week's episode like normal, but I got to tell you guys that it lifted me up on a day where I was feeling truly beat down, gave me some laughs when I needed some, and helped me get through this tough moment. Just want you guys to know that what you're doing here is special and helps people and more than just talking about nerdy stuff. Mm-hmm. Thank you for always being a bright spot. Thank you for allowing people like myself for sharing their crazy-ass stories with no judgment or criticism. One last thing, being from Louisiana... I know a bit about judgment for food, but normally it's me judging others because let me tell you something right now. When I go anywhere other than here and I see gumbo, I know better. Who the hell puts tomatoes in gumbo? Jalapenos, carrots, potatoes. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Beans? I've seen beans. It ain't right. Love you guys. Go Power Rangers, Shane G. Well, first of all,
thanks, Shane.
Condolences. For your
condolences on your
I'm glad
grandma.
that we could bring a little bit.
Yeah.
I will say that I fearfully can admit that I think gumbo, that name gumbo, has just become a catch-all for I'm gonna make some shit in a pot,
Shrimp gumbo,
and it's just whatever you can throw in it.
I don't know if it's time for this conversation, but me and Pinkerton was talking about the show when we were having my double waffles of what we want, if anything, and what we think of as a successful podcast.
That's
and
interesting.
what's the next step, if any, right? Because like we feel like we have on some charts, and like we're like we have some regular listeners, we have some growth. It's like, what's the next step? And I told him, for me, there's no next step. Like for me, I'm here to fucking hang out with my bros. This is just a good excuse, right? And for me, we are successful even if we never grew another fucking listener, because just week to week having a few hundred, maybe even not even 100. Let's say 50. If we have 50 people listening to us regular every week, and we're just not speaking to the ether, and that it means something to somebody like him.
First of all, it's 1,200.
Is it 1,200?
Yeah.
We're successful because there are people who streams and podcasts to like an audience of 3 or 5, which if that's what they want, that's successful too. But
Yeah.
for me, like we have a large-ish audience for what we do, and that people take something from it and care. I think that's success for me.
I mean, not to let the cat out of the bag, but Bobby did talk on his YouTube channel that he makes no money from this.
He said,
Now, obviously, you and I get our salary, but Bobby doesn't take any money. It's he gets paid. We get paid in K cups.
That's the one coffee we get every week.
One coffee a week. Yeah.
I mean, not only do I make no money off this, but I pay money.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, this is kind of like the pharmacy that's losing money in a grocery shop. But this is part of the brand account, your Patreon and the YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
But like, I for me, like, I don't know, because sometimes people are ambitious or just have vision that like, okay, now we've reached this point, and now we start to diversify the fucking thing and start getting sponsorship or whatever. For me, I'm like, whatever you guys want to do, bro.
I'll tell you what, Ricky has like reached out to like help like in any way possible with anything, right?
Nice.
Because he's just like a super aggressive that way. And I don't mean that in a bad way. And like I was thinking, like, you know what this show would probably, if I were to say like where to take it next, or what it would probably benefit from is like short clips.
Yep.
Like 30-second clips to post on Instagram, to post on TikTok, to post on Facebook, to post just post.
Just having somebody that wants to sit and do that's a thing.
Of like a little funny bit, and then that makes people want to check out the show. Because I think like that's what holds this show, not this show, most podcasts back, is that podcasts are super popular.
It doesn't seem accessible because
but they're also kind of cutting edge at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I know that are like, podcast? I'm not listening to that. What am I, 80?
It feels like everyone has a podcast, but also not everyone listens. Yeah,
Correct.
At the same time, it's one of those weird things. But also the fact that we're limited in what we can do with being on video.
Right. Unless I wear the mask.
Yeah.
Which I can do. It's almost like with that shit too. I would need like in a perfect world, if I had like 2 more people that could attend every week that just wanted to help out to do audio video stuff, we could do it.
Yeah.
I just
can't press all the buttons.
I can't press all the buttons.
And with the fucking shotgun and the fucking dolphin.
And neither can you. And neither can you.
No, I'm just here to bullshit, bro.
Right.
We would do it live even.
It would have to be somebody else.
Like it's streamable for sure.
So who wants to move to Maryland? All right, the
You already got fucking me and Pinkerton coming up here.
I know that's the next person. We can't have.
We try to get Tyler here.
We can't have him be a cast member. We got to just decide now.
I was talking about that too. With I was saying like I wasn't a cast member first. I was just here as like
hanging out.
And same with Black Phillip. We were just
audience. It was like an audience, like a live audience,
and the being on the mic.
I miss that too. I love having you on the show. Don't take that the wrong way, but like there was something about that where like because like. It's just like when we do episode 300 or 200 or whatever, and there's like a room full of people. Like I know that I myself, I can't speak for anyone else, but like I ratchet it up.
You get yes,
because I want
playing to somebody that's not just listening.
I want the laughs. I want the reaction. I want So,
but it's also hard as an audience, even if someone wants to come, because as we know, people who listens and myself talk back to the radio in the car by ourselves. So it's really hard to not when you're sitting here live.
Oh, I used to scream at you guys before I was on that show. Every week in the car.
So like to ask somebody to come sit here and just fucking not say anything is,
or they can say stuff. You know what I mean? It's not like
it's like, you know, most podcasts have a producer that's off camera that says stuff.
You just hear him in the background like, no,
or you know,
it's 82.
Yeah.
82.
Or if Joe Rogan's got to go take a shit,
Jamie?
then he'll talk to whoever. Yeah.
So, but our condolences. Thank you for the kind words. Our next one is from Sammy. Sammy says, "Hey there, guys. I recently watched the Hit Monkey show that recently came out. I was surprised in how much effort they put into it. It really reminded me of old samurai grindhouse films and proved to be extremely fun. It's definitely worth a watch." One quick question: it's the apocalypse. He's coming up in both questions. What's your song to pump you up to take you to zombie marauder whatever? To take on the zombie marauder, whatever horde. Love your show. Always makes me smile.
dude, I'm gonna put on fucking Johnny Cash Hurt and then shoot myself in the head.
Oh my God, Joe. Joe, you got no spirit.
Dude, there's nothing to live for. Everything we love has to do with the modern world. How you got wife and kids, but like if you were single, what the fuck do you have to live for?
No,
in the post-apocalyptic
So,
world.
I mean,
so I'm
you
with
might
you.
enjoy popping zombies in the head with weapon of choice.
You probably actually
Weapon of choice
You
with,
would probably love that.
yeah, you
Christopher
probably would.
You would be the guy on the roof with the long rifle.
You'd be like, finally.
all these motherfuckers.
I don't know. I like. So really, I'll be honest with you. I'd probably just put this drill playlist I got going. It's literally. Let me just check it real quick. Like it's probably perfect. I mean, the issue would be that like every 58th song or so, I'd have to skip one that wasn't about just killing people.
That's one in 58.
You know, like hopefully they give me like a little bit of a moment. But like, so this drill playlist that I have, I'm telling you.
How long is the list?
Oh my God! That's
not playlist. That's
four
just
times.
That's the fucking library.
It's 301 songs.
I didn't know there was.
That's not a playlist. That's
drill songs.
Playlists are fucking curated things.
13 hours, 42 minutes.
Yeah, that's not playlist.
You need that long to get pumped up?
Well, no, I think I would just.
Did you put it on random?
Yeah, I would just shuffle and then
Go to work.
Put my Bluetooth earphones in and then go to work.
Man, ride with the wind, Christopher Cross, man. I was born the son of a lawless man. Always spoke my mind with a gun in my hand. Live 9 lives and gun down 10.
If I
ride like the wind. That's the most gangster shit any white dude said in the 80s. Lay it out.
I think that if I had to pick one off of that, it would be a song called, I don't even know what the fuck it means. It's Bixty Part 2 by Bankroll Boona. It just sounds like he's been waiting all day to kill you.
Sounds like Mumble number 5, Lou Vega.
Yeah.
That would probably be a good one too. You can name them as you're bashing Monica, Tanya.
Next one is from...
Or Freak a League by Peter Pablo would be a good one.
This is from Ava La Joil. I don't know.
Sorry if he fucked up your name. That's all him.
Sorry that he did fuck up your name.
Oh, Angel. He says Angel. There we go. Hey, Ragers. My name is Angel, and I'm a fan of the show.
What up, Angel?
Like you already.
Never heard you before of you.
I know. Welcome.
Right in, bro.
I recently got my first 2 third-party figures, which are fans' hobby, this and that. I decided to get these after watching Bobby's reviews on both of them and love these fucking things. So much, in fact, I went back to TF Source and purchased New Age Megatron and Soundwave. Anyways, I have a couple questions for you guys today. One, how do you guys feel about the Rancor Kickstarter after seeing the Rancor in color and seeing all 4 tiers? So listen, first of all, more people need to be giving us our fucking flowers for calling a lot of this bullshit and predicting a lot of this bullshit.
Did we predict the cardboard cutout backdrop?
I think you
did.
may have.
It was a while ago. You did.
I mean,
it was a joke, but
they are awful. They're tanking this fucking thing. They're fucking tanking it. And I love Yak Face's hashtag, the no oolah, no moolah.
So I saw a shout out to Raul. I saw Raul comment that somewhere.
Yeah, dude, it's the shit. Like, that's the thing is like, you don't make that beast without those two.
Yep. The only 2 things that matter.
There's an argument that it should have been part of the base. That they shouldn't have been stretch goals.
Yeah.
That the fucking
that's how you sell it.
Purchase should have been the same way you buy if you bought some fucking big ass Millennium Falcon, like the vintage collection Millennium Falcon. It was like $400 or whatever.
Yeah.
It came with Han and Chewie. Like the Rancor should come with Ula and Malakili. Like there's no. It's at the very least they should have been stretch goals. The fact that they're not, it tells me everything I need to know about Hasbro and the people in charge of Star Wars right now.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The only other thing that I could forgive is you drop this thing. You can back it now. Here's the link. Here's the pics. You drop that. Boom. Here's Wave 82 of Black Series that will include Ula and Malakili. Yeah. That's it's either you include it with it or you let people know they're coming.
That's minimal.
Correct. Yeah. Go ahead.
But to that point, you said the only reason you wanted it was for those two characters. Mm-hmm. So now they've talked to you. You might I don't know if you're in on this or not. You might have canceled it and said, "Fuck it, I'm just going to get these figures when they come out in a year or whatever."
Yep. The ironic thing is, I would have canceled had I seen these stretch goals if I did back it with the intention that they were going to do right, and that I was only buying it for those figures, and that now that they're not including those figures, I'm not buying it at all and have no interest in.
On the note, and forgive me if he asked about the other Kickstarters, but as you know, the Proton Pack funded, and today they revealed some new stretch goals, including this white splooge you can put all over your Proton Pack.
That is awful.
It's apparently from. It's apparently
I can
from
do that for free, bruh.
That's right.
Oh, it's supposed to be
the new. I guess the new movie has
little state puffs
in it, and
it does look like Godzilla came on your back.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was very graphic, Bobby. It just took a minute
for it to sink in, for you to put the picture together in your head.
He says, "For me, I'm excited about the Rancor and 2 of the 4 tiers. However, I'm displeased with the Kowakian tier 3, and I'm pissed about the background accessory. The Kowakian could have easily been sold with a Jabba on retail shelves. As for the background, the skulls and bones are cool, but why in the fuck would I use a cardboard background to display my premium product? A cardboard background? Fucking really? Where's my Ula and Rancor keeper? Exactly.
There you go.
Where are they at, Hasbro? This is some bullshit. What a waste." Question 2.
I want to see a bunch of people canceling for this thing just fucking tank.
Well, here's the other thing. You want to know what one of those skulls is?
You?
Ula.
Oh. I thought it was you. Bobby Skullface.
That's like insult to injury.
Yes.
Like one of the skulls is the character you should have made as the tier.
That's fucked up. Maybe in their heads that's like a consolation prize.
I think it was an Easter egg. Like, if you're like paying attention, it's like, oh, and he ate her, so. But stupid.
So just as of production time of this, the Rancor has only 53%.
Did it go down? Can people cancel?
Yes.
Yeah.
It has gone down.
Yes.
That's all.
I think it's the first one to go down.
Brink. Where's Brink? And Charge and Grass.
He has it all. Yeah.
I was going to say.
The Sky Striker, and that has 2 weeks left, 14 days left. The G.I. Joe Sky Striker, 3 3/4, if you did not know. 56% with 15 days to go, and the backpacks are like 136%.
Yeah,
and it ends in 20 days. Which somehow, how was that? I guess it came out after. I think they bit out more than they can chew doing 3 of these at a time. I think. Let me rephrase that. I think they're asking too much of the consumer right now.
They're just not giving them what they want.
That's the other thing. It's like if that Sky Striker was, and I know it would be huge in 12th scale. I would have been all over that.
Yep.
I would have passed on that too personally.
Right, for the size aspect, but I have no fucking common sense, Bobby. I probably would have gotten 2 or 3 of them.
You're like the Robert D. of G.I. Joe Classified.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He says, question 2, are there any figure statues you guys are looking forward to? I'm highly anticipated for the Fans Hobby Armada Megatron, New Age Optimus Prime. Thanks for the badass podcast, and thanks for answering my questions. Thank you. Go Power Rangers, he says.
I already paid for them. I'm just waiting for them to come out. There's 3 of them.
But what are you excited for? Are you excited for all of them?
Yeah. Claymore, Skull Knight from Berserk, and fucking Red Monica from Battle Chasers. It's like been a year delayed now.
Did you go in on all those Play Arts Kai Final Fantasy?
Oh, yeah.
Because there was something that came out within like the last 6 months or so, right? Wasn't there one?
Yeah, there was continuous drops.
So you got one. All of them. Yeah. I should have been more on top of that and asked you about it as you came in without you mentioning it. But like, have they all been?
Yeah,
good,
great,
solid,
great,
yeah.
Perfect.
Love to hear.
Like looks exactly. What
I miss buying that from that company.
That's why I started buying shoes.
Well, no, it's not that though, right?
I mean, just miss buying stuff.
Well, no, it's like I'm saying like I miss buying Play Arts because they're not making anything that I'm into, right? But like I kind of like I told you I was tempted to buy that Nier Automata girl just because of how good she looks.
That ass.
Yeah.
Well, play the game and they'll give you an excuse.
Right.
But what do you want in Players Sky?
I don't know. I just miss.
I don't. This is like, what would you want?
I would take more X-Men. I would take more Star Wars stuff.
You don't buy Star Wars stuff anymore. Don't lie.
I mean, it depends. Like whatever. Like I'm trying to think. Like
because like you have a lot of Players Sky.
Injustice.
Yeah, they would be perfect to make Injustice.
Yeah,
I guess they don't have the license.
No, probably not. But I mean, I'm guessing that's what happened with all of that shit. Is they've lost the license or chose not to re-up it. Mm-hmm. But I just miss it because I like Play Arts Sky. They're my first. They popped my cherry. You know what I mean? They're my first love. Like I got back into collecting via Play Arts Sky. You know. Anything for you excited about, Chris?
No, I normally just dread when the pre-order hits at this point.
He's excited about everything and excited about getting rid of it.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm excited about. I'll tell you, I'm actually in a space where I'm excited about some Transformer stuff. Like I'm excited for this MMC and KFC or X Transbots Protectabot sets.
Oh, I thought you were going to say run them out.
I'm excited for the after seeing it at the show that specifically that MMC Steeljaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean those look great.
Yeah,
they really do look great. Did you just say you're excited about Steeljaw though? Is that a sentence you thought you'd ever say? I that's what it's come down to. I'm excited about a C-level Autobot tape.
Yeah, but like I'm excited about a lot of stuff that on the Transformers scene. I just needed to actually come out, but which I haven't been really in a while. So like, it's kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Richie K says, "Good day, raging nerd herders. Going through a pretty rough time at the moment. I would honestly say it's the hardest I've gone through in my 40 years of living. Don't want to weigh you guys down with the details. Otherwise, this email is going to turn into half a novel, and Bobby still hasn't gotten through Coruscant Nights."
Have you read one page? Have you read it forward?
He says, "I don't like my chances." Joe, does it really matter?
I mean,
let's just wait till I've read it. This podcast has really helped distract me through some of the more darker moments, and I can't thank you guys enough for not just the laughs and education along the way. So with all that in mind, when you were at your lowest, darkest moments of your lives, how did you dig yourselves out? What did you do to get through it and start to see the light on the other side again? Thanks for reading. Thanks for replying. Until next time, take care.
Music.
Yeah, music's a big one.
Pulled me out. I mean, I can listen to songs today and know, yep, that song was the one that I listened to.
Music's a big one for me too.
Over and over and over.
Yeah, music. My parents, my grandma especially. That was she stopped me from doing many dumb things. Like there's been times when my parents were like, "Don't do this. This is stupid. You're gonna fucking regret it." And I was like on my way to do it regardless. And my grandma was like, just give me a look, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna sit my ass down."
Yeah. You know, I don't really know. Like I think that honestly, creating stuff about it is what helps me get through it. Like
want to let you process it, really break it down and process it.
One of the hardest years of my life was 2010. Lost two of my best friends in 3 months of each other. Had it wasn't too long from that time because it was like a year from 2010 to July 2010 to July, or October 2010 to October 2011. Had a falling out with a bunch of friends like during that era too. Like I lost a lot of friends one way or the other. Yeah. And like I was creating music at the time, and that helped. And I think I think I need to communicate the shit somehow. I need to get it off my chest, and in some healthy way. And what's kind of fucked up is not that it's the darkest time, but from 2019 to now has not been a great time for me in a number of ways, whether it be with different relationships in my life and the evolution of that, whether it be COVID and not being able to connect with people the way that I like to connect with people, stagnancy at my job stuff, like just regular stuff, like
life shit.
And I think I'm having a harder time. It's like, for me, hard times is like the mud. And like you're in the mud. And then you find a way to get out of the mud. But you're still fucking covered in mud. And you've got to go through this whole process to get a whole clean...
It's a great analogy.
You got to get a shower. You got to change your clothes. You got to get off the fucking swamplands first. then you got to find a place to change clothes, then you got to have a change of clothes, then you got to take a shower, then put the new clothes on. It's like a whole...
Like in Shawshank Redemption when he gets out of the prison, right?
Yes, different type of mud, but yes.
Definitely different. You hope it's different.
But it's this whole, like, it's not like I come out, it's like this process for me to get through shit. And like I know I'm still going through it, you know, with a lot of it. I'm probably still haven't laced up my shoes from 2010 yet. You know, I've just got most of my stuff together.
At least you're getting some new shoes now. Half size works miracles.
But I think for me it's creating and communicating. And I think that like shit like this, like the, you know, people are thanking us for the pod. The pod also is therapeutic for me in a lot of ways.
I'll be honest, my calendar, I put this on my calendar every week as therapy.
Yeah. I get it. It's important for me.
It's like a toy detox.
Kevin R. HasLab or HasMad? I feel like we're going to know where this is going. Power Rangers, will this joke ever get old or go away? Hasbro has got to get it together. I'm sure you've already addressed Hasbro as losing backers on the Rancor in the news segment.
Yeah, it's just now.
If you have not already discussed, what would you want to see out of the franchises? I felt like the missing link in collecting right now is playsets, which is why I think the Sail Barge and Razor Crest did so well. You can also contact Crashbox Customs for playsets as well.
There you go.
My picks, I think a modular G.I. Joe flag or Death Star where you could connect modular pieces or display them like shelves could work. A Ghostbusters firehouse that can actually be big enough for Ecto 1 to fit in properly, and while they are in the proper scale, Ecto 1 where you could fit 4 figures like Super 7 is doing with the Thundercats and Turtles. So I think those are both great. I think maybe the Death Star and flag's a little too ambitious.
Yeah, well, it depends on because you can't scale those,
right?
Like they're off. Even the flag, as big as it was off scale,
right?
Obviously.
I mean, the barge is off scale. To be fair, off sale. Stop it,
look out!
But I think as being able to sell things modular, it's very smart because people can buy just a section they want. They have the space for it.
It's a great concept.
It is.
You can buy as many modules as you want.
Listen, I don't want to tell anybody to play with their toys. I should probably trademark that. But yeah, I mean, modular thing. But how are you going to do any sort of crowdfunding with them? You know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, Death Star. I mean, like the Death Star walls that GTP. Well, they're not making at the moment, but stuff like that. I think is great for displays. You've got some of them with your stuff here, and then that was pretty modular. You literally built it how you wanted to. You had to put it together with hairpins and whatnot, but from G.I. Joe, I would, like I just mentioned, I'd love to see some 12 scale vehicles. I don't know if we'll get that. I don't, even if it's like some of the smaller stuff, or I mean a HISS tank, which I have the HISS tank at the house that Tyler made. Yeah, it's a big unit, but it's about the same size.
Big old unit.
I imagine that it's not much around the same size as the Razor Crest is going to be, right?
Yeah,
give or take.
I would imagine
one is much more popular in
right now. And I'll tell you something, and it happens in a lot of toy, niches. But in G.I. Joe, there's a company that's making third party company. They're doing 3D printed kits where you can make a scuba trooper and this, that, and it's super high quality stuff. But these kits are $30-$40,
right? And
people are paying. And I'll be honest with you. It's hard in the $20 toy collecting community to get them to want to spend more than money on the figure. So that tells me that market, I think, is going to be a little different, the G.I. Joe market. I don't know who the fuck their target audience is with this 3 3/4 set. Like, I don't know.
It's Bobby.
Well, no. I'm speaking on the G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
they're going back to the
O-ring. You have so many 3 3/4 G.I. Joes,
I do, but I'm not buying any of that shit.
Well, yes, but even a step further than that, the ones that they're putting with this are the original O-ring style figures.
Right.
So they're like the original G.I. Joes from the 80s.
Oh,
which don't even... They're kind of doofy looking if we're honest.
I mean, a lot of things are doofy looking. The fucking He-Man figures that are like the old He-Man figures are fucking doofy, but people buy them, right?
Right. Well, I have a whole rack full of
right.
them at my house.
People want that look specifically.
But
so
I'm just saying
that's who they're aiming in towards.
Sure. But that, like...
They could be missing. Just because they're aiming doesn't mean they're going to hit.
Right. But like that you can't put that with like the Revelation stuff. It looks ridiculous.
Right.
So I just don't know who that target audience is. Apparently, they've only got about half of them targeted anyway.
I think I would actually like to see something like relatively less ambitious. Like, I think, like I would like to see something like, look, we're doing a set of 12 Black Series 1/12 scale pod racers. We can't put these out in retail because they'll never fucking sell. But you can buy this box set of 12 pod racers, and and we'll. And like, I think that would be successful.
Yeah, and that's a good, because they're big, but they're not huge. And most of them, in my mind, I'm immediately going to, God, how big is that box going to be? But the parts break down because most of them, it's like the engines and the pods.
No, I'm sorry. Not the vehicles.
Oh.
The pilots.
The racers.
The racers, not the pods themselves.
Not the racers, but
I'm such an idiot.
Sorry.
But yeah, like just the pilots.
Yeah, he's less ambitious. I'm like, what? But then 12 vehicles is very ambitious.
No, but like we can't put thise out. They'll never sell. But if you wanted, like I
want
think,
an army build Sebulba bike?
Well, like because I even feel like a lot of those like Sebulba, that race is in like a few different iterations.
It's
like
a Doug.
Yeah, a Doug.
Well, I mean, which one?
Which is how Baltimore people say dog, by the way. But like it's
Doug.
Yeah, dude, that's my Doug. And they frog. Oh, that shit is funny to me. But like,
it's funny to me too.
They used to call this dude. They looked like a frog. And this, I guess I got pop. I used to. He's like, you look like a frog. From now on, that's what I'm gonna call you, little frog. It was funny as shit. Anyway,
do you want regular Sebulba or dirty Sebulba?
Well, wait. So there's other, like there's some in Clone Wars and shit and everything else, and Rebels. There's so like you can reuse the mold if you know what I mean at some point. Just like if you had this, and even you could sell Sebulba, but like Ben Quadineros,
right.
Like you're not selling Ben Quadineros. That's not going to happen.
As long as it comes with a double-headed announcer,
right? Like or shit like that. Like I think that but I think that's another one to put in that set.
But I mean, like I think that
Cantina
could be
aliens.
I think that could be an
like
Amazon.
Everyone around the bar.
Yeah,
that could be an
whole
Amazon box set. I don't
everyone
think
in this table.
They don't need a Kickstarter. They don't need a crowdfund for that.
But I think an Amazon box set, you're looking at 3 figures max. I think like I'm talking about like a
12.
Like 12 figures, and I don't know. That's what I got.
Yeah,
because I'm not a big vehicle monster guy.
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
mean, or they can just sell the cantina.
Yeah, you can have the cantina come with, a certain amount of figures for
12 scale cantina.
Well, I mean, they already started on it with that bar.
Yeah,
that came with a SDCC set.
Oh yeah.
So they may be on their way.
Mr. Billings wrote in, gentlemen, I want to know if when watching a show or movie with your spouse or even a friend, do you have certain types of scenarios or topics that come up on screen that make you uncomfortable because of who you're watching it with? Cursing, cheating, sexually explicit, politics, etc. For example, you're watching with your spouse and there's a scene where someone is cheating on their partner, or an unexpected overly violent scene while you're watching with kids. Sexual abuse scene pops up when watching when someone may have been raped, or the like. I personally get super uncomfortable. I immediately get paranoid and weirded out when people cheat in shows. I feel like it could give my wife ideas or plant a seed that shouldn't be there. And when my son hears a new word, then asks me what it means, and he's only 6, so you don't know how to explain it to him, or if you even should, he gets anxious. Love, peace, and titty grease, Billings. Sex stuff with my kids, so to speak. It fucks me up. I'm not good with it. So like, my Jaina, my oldest, wanted to watch an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm to check it out. So we watched the recent episode when he soils the KKK robes. And she was like, this is hysterical. I want to watch more of it. So like I was like, all right, let's do it. I went back to episode 1, but episode 1 is where he has the pants the tented pants. They buckle in the front. Looks like he's got a hard on. Yep. And I was like, all right, let's see what episode 2 looks like.
Yeah.
So stuff like that is definitely where I fall into.
Well, I definitely don't have the same concerns with, cheating or anything.
No.
And I'd say, honestly, the violence with the kids, they play video games, and I don't shelter them from violence, but if something's sexual in there, and it may just be lazy on my part that I don't feel like trying to explain all
your
this.
Kids are old enough. You're just like, I assume Mason's fucking.
Yeah, and Kennedy's 13. She's obviously seen things on the internet, whether we want her to or not, and Charlie probably be the one I'd have any concerns with at this point.
He might be too innocent to even know what's going on, though.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not.
But like I said, I'm lazy. I don't want to have to answer those questions.
I can't handle it. I don't think I have any other situation I can think of off the top of my head. I'll tell you, there's some stuff where like, there's some stuff that I get weirded out with my wife's. Like, here's one. So like, I'm heavily into music, and of this era, specifically rap music. So like when I'm watching, sometimes I want to watch interviews with some of these guys or whatever to, or I'll see some headline like so-and-so addresses the such and such situation. I'll be like, yeah, I want to watch that. I want to know what his thoughts are on that. And I'll click that. And just the way that he's, just the ignorance of some of this shit. Like, and I know my wife is just like her eyes are just rolling out of her head and on like, just like the stupid shit. Like, I know she's thinking that and I feel weird about it just because like, I feel like I'm being judged sometimes, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I'll just watch it later. I understand this. I know you don't understand this. I don't feel the need or want to try to explain it to you. So I'd rather just wait when you're not around. Yeah. I have some of that sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's basically things you don't have common interest in. There's no reason to try and partake in something you're not interested in one way or another.
Yes, but like we don't have common interest in like Star Wars toys or something, but like something like that came up, I would go ahead and watch it right in front of her. Whereas like some of this stuff, I'm like, I'll wait. Because this guy is going to talk about like just horrendous things and he's going to say it in a horrendous manner. And there's a culture to it and you don't understand the culture. You're going to view it through a different lens. Right.
Right.
So KFC, thank you, by the way, for sending in the groove.
Oh yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
About time. Thanks.
It says, for Joe.
Hello.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Spell
who?
WHO.
I hate you, Pinkerton.
What's up, Power Rangers?
This is all your fault.
I know.
It's been a while. My life this past month has been a disaster. A lot of people having a bad go at it. I hope thoughts and prayers to all our listeners.
Holiday season is the worst season, bro.
At my job, we went on strike, which needed to happen. You guys maybe heard about it. Let's say I work for a company that builds tractors with a jumping deer as a logo in the Midwest. I see it covered on national news a few times. Then on top of that, the kid's mom split up. Oh my God, dude. I'm sorry. One of the first questions I wrote to you guys was about how she...
Christmas present, maybe? Silver lining, right?
Then on top, so one of the first questions I wrote to you guys was about how she doesn't support the hobby at all. But enough of all the negative. I just want to say thanks because even though I was writing in, I was still listening and was trying to. Even though I wasn't writing in, still listening and was trying to be interactive during the ETR at times. But my question I wanted to hear you guys talk about is your opinions on unions and right to work states. I know it's nothing nerdy, but hey, this is a lifestyle podcast.
I actually had a big last family dinner we had a conversation about that with both between me, Chris, and my parents.
Really?
Because Chris's company might be going on strike on Black Friday. So it's one of those gray areas where unions can overreach sometimes, but also it's one of those things you can live with them, can't live without them, right? Because if you don't have unions, people get fucked.
Right. It's been like a necessary, what do they call it? A necessary evil.
Right. And it's not supposed to be like most things when it's supposed to exist for a purpose, but that purpose gets tainted and warped.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So what union is supposed to be for is great, but it doesn't all work that way. Like HOAs, much like HOAs.
Yeah.
It's there for a reason. It's like you probably don't want to live in a place with no HOA, depending on where you are.
Right, where the guy's got a washing machine out front.
Right, like back in Alabama where you're from. And so you need them, but...
Yeah,
and also the other way too,
like abortion.
Yeah. Some people need them. Some people should have them, and some people
abuse it.
Some people just have them every weekend.
God.
So unions came to be obviously in this country because of the working conditions that were
correct.
Yeah,
at the current time.
Yeah, correct. I mean overall, workers are exploited, and historically, people are exploited.
Sure.
Yeah, people without power exploit it.
This is how everything happens, right? Like if you look at like the mafia, Bloods, Crips, a lot of this stuff comes from people needing to be protected and taking their kind of communities into their own hands. The Westies, like an Irish gang, same thing. But then over time, they're like, oh, we can also make money off of this.
When you get power.
As soon as that happens, then the dynamics just change because you can't regulate morality.
Yeah, and and not that everyone in this union, everyone in these organizations are bad, but you just need a couple bad people in the right places, and the whole fucking thing is derailed.
Is at this table, you're not in a pharmaceutical, right?
I don't even get lunch breaks, bro.
You're not in a union.
Get overtime.
Are you in a union?
No, but the company I work for, where our product is created, those are union shops.
Gotcha. And I am in a union, Moppers Guild. And
but I got on job injuries and shit.
But I'll tell you,
comp and stuff.
I mean, my union. I mean, it's fine. It's not great. It's not horrible. It's fine. I could sit here and bitch about my union for an hour. I could also sit here and say the things my union has done for an hour.
Right. Exactly. That's the problem. And I'm by no means. If you listen to the show in my time, I'm no means a big corporations or people who are exploiting, people who are in power. But I also see. If I were to see from their point of view, I understand what they're doing. Right? They're underpaying you because they could, because they're trying to maximize profits. So from their point of view, they're doing the right thing for themselves. So, like I said, for Krista, she's fine. She doesn't have she was only going on strike in order to support the other people in the company who's on strike. She doesn't want to be a scab. But for her needs, she's paid plenty enough for what she wants out of benefits and stuff. But for other people in the company, they're like, well, there are other people with the same job in a different company and they all get paid more than us, or they get more. And I'm just like, are you overreaching though?
There was a kind of
I have this question of myself, are you asking for what is deserved to you, or are you asking for too much? And I can't find the right answer to that. You get to work from home, you get full benefits, you get all the holidays off and paid, you get vacation pay, you also get bonus days off for just wellness. So, sometimes the company's like, everyone's been working hard. Pick a day to take off this week. And I'm like, bro, I can see that you see other people getting more than you and you want that. But I also see people who are getting less than you and who would fucking kill to have that.
Right.
So I don't know what the right answer is.
Yeah.
And I told her, I understand you're going to go on strike regardless. But, she's trying not to think about stuff. That's why she's happy, right? And I wish I could be that way. Ignorance is bliss. But I'm like, at least try to think about the whole situation so that you have a stand and a point of view when someone asks why you're on strike, and not just because my peers are doing so. And what she has come up with, she's thought about it and we talked about it. And it's,
good.
Yeah.
My, recently, a county in Maryland had a whole bunch of bus drivers bang out sick for a day. Mm-hmm. And they're not unionized, but they just networked amongst themselves. Let's all bang out sick today.
Yep.
And they all banged out. I think it was 80%, 85% banged out sick. Within a week, they had healthcare.
Yep.
They had minimum hours. They had all this fucking
necessary.
Yeah.
Because you know what?
People fucking exploit it.
The public school system gets paid on head count.
Yep.
And
that's the reason they care if your kids are there or not.
Same thing we were talking about earlier about how big, fucking fast food companies or whatever is offering a lot more money and sign-on bonuses. They could have afforded it the entire time. You've been getting fucked the entire time. They weren't giving this to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then one last one from Esteban. He says, good morning. He said, did I make it? Am I too late? Am I too soon? I'm too soon. Good morning, everyone.
Protect you, bro. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. Protect them at all costs. Hopefully, I've written this in time for Monday's recording. This weekend, the anime One Piece celebrated 1,000 episodes. And all around the world, Funimation and Crunchyroll had outdoor events screening the episode for fans. Seeing hundreds of people sing along to the original theme gave me chills, and I wanted to know if Joe could share with us some of his favorite moments from the show and maybe help other people get into this amazing story we have been following for over 20 years.
I can't on here because these motherfuckers don't know. Well, no. Bobby don't know and don't care. Pinkerton has to know some and care some because he lives in the household of
pirates.
People who cares.
And a lot of the characters are based on real pirates. That's pretty much what I know. And
kind of based on real pirates, kind of based on real people. The art.
I watched a pirate documentary one day when Kelly's like, "Oh, he's in One Piece. He's in One Piece. He's in One Piece."
The names at least, yeah.
Yeah, the names at least.
And they all look like real people.
Ooh, let's play the game. Let's play the game, Joe. Let's play the game. Let's play
Bobby
the One Piece.
Bobby first because he knows less. What do you know about One Piece?
It's an anime.
Other than what you just heard.
It's an anime. It's just celebrated its 1,000.
Are we going back and forth here?
No.
You're going to let Bobby unload?
I was going to let Bobby unload first because I think you're going to know everything he knows and more.
It just celebrated its 1,000th episode where fans had screening events where they could...
What does the main character look like? Just one. Pick one. Anyone.
Is that where the green-haired guy is from?
Yes.
With
you know
Krista?
that because of Krista.
Yes.
Yep.
So I know
that's Zoro.
Zoro, yeah.
How many swords does he have?
2.
3. One is in his mouth.
That's it. 3 swords. That's all I got.
Luffy's the main character.
Yes.
He wears a straw hat.
Yes.
He's one of the Straw Hat Pirates.
Yes.
There's been a rotating cast over this. There's been a lot of different characters that have come and gone, maybe is the best way to say it.
Not from the main crew.
Okay.
There's people who have been added to the main crew as they went on. It was just him and Zoro at first.
The animation's kind of hit or miss during some of it,
especially at the beginning.
Yeah. There's no decent action figures of that franchise. There's statues, but
there are good. They're limited amount of action figures of what there is out. They are good, but they're very limited.
There's one chick with giant boobs that shows up at one point in time.
A lot.
I just see one.
I think that's every anime.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to think anything else.
I don't know why I had to think about that.
My wife has watched damn near all of it.
Yes.
And Charlie's watched a good bit of it. I think Mason started watching it yet.
It's an endeavor. You tell someone there's 1,000 episodes or something.
1,000 episodes. But they're like,
but
realistic, aren't they 22-minute episodes that have a bumper? So it's probably like about 12 minutes.
Yeah. If you are good at skipping all the shit you don't need, it ends up to be like 12 minutes episodes.
Yeah.
But still, for any show, any media to be able to say we're at 1,000 of something is pretty fucking impressive.
And I know there's some pretty devastating deaths in the series because, like I said, my wife has been tore up about stuff.
Dude, I've openly wept at that show before, man.
So that's probably everything I know about it off the top of my head. I could probably name a couple other characters if I tried. I know Zoro, obviously.
Can you name the whole? Well, you probably can't. Who can you name from the main crew? You named Luffy and Zoro.
I'm done. I can't name anybody else.
Wow.
Although I know the figures are staring at me in my living room.
And they're not even the main crew, by the way. Most of those guys are like, it's got really amazing just characters. Like, I don't know how this writer does it. This one guy, 1,000 episodes, but like continuously every island they go to, they meet a whole other group of people, basically. There are some people who returns, but there's continuously adding memorable, good characters the entire fucking time. I'm only up to like 500-600 episodes.
Okay.
So I'm not completely caught up, but it still being well regarded. No one talks shit about One Piece unless you haven't watched One Piece mainly.
Yeah. I mean, I can appreciate the fandom, like, Esteban said, 20 years.
That's impressive.
That's impressive for anything. To have that one, Gundam's been around that long, but how many different shows have they had, right? Transformers, how many different shows? So to have one continuous storyline is
that didn't really stick
pretty
any
incredible,
breaks.
right?
It's just one dude, banging the shit out.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
But memorable, obviously, is Ace. It's fucking my most memorable, like my most hard hitting moment was Enies Lobby with Robin. Like when she was on the balcony. Oh, I'm getting feels thinking about it, bro. Well, if you know about the show, Enies Lobby with Robin's arc, that one scene fucking brings tears to my eyes every time I even think about it.
He's tearing up right now.
I am fucking tearing up thinking about it, bro. I love One Piece so much.
That's awesome.
And he also punches somebody, right? And it's like that defeats them.
That's all the animes, right?
No, that's One Punch Man.
Oh, One Punch Man.
I don't know if he's serious or not. I don't know if he's serious.
It's one in there.
Okay.
One Punch Man is also very good for very different reasons.
I would watch.
One Punch. I watched the first season. I've heard the second season wasn't.
You don't have to watch. I mean, you don't need to watch more of that. I mean, if you like it, you win. I mean, I enjoy it, but for someone to just ask me an anime to watch for fun, one season of One Punch Man is a good suggestion.
And I think that was it for our questions.
And if you want to send a question in, you can send it to
nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
If you have a longer email that you want to donate to us, we're
willing to use that as well. I do have to real quick before we get out of here. But I've been going on. Laura and I've been going shopping some of these days we've had together. It's been fun. It's been fun. But like going to malls we haven't been to in years, and like went to Montgomery Mall.
2 years. We haven't gone to any malls
that too.
in 2 years.
That too.
Montgomery Mall. Nice.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go to we're gonna go to Tyson's soon. We're gonna go to
Tyson's.
Tyson's.
Nice.
Just we haven't been to since we were kids.
If you want to go fancy restaurant, go to Chima.
Okay.
It's a Brazilian barbecue.
Okay.
It's right by Tyson's. I love the place.
Okay, we'll check it out. So anyway, it's been good, but then with that, she's also like talking about going hiking and shit. Which is like
walking with you hate
destinationless walking. So I've been
just find landmarks you want to get to.
I've been trying to find some landmarks.
Something with a scenic view when you see off the
that's not good for me.
No,
that's not good for me. I've tried it. It's not. The payoff isn't worth it to me.
You like Grand Canyon, don't you?
I've never been.
Oh, okay.
I haven't either.
I've been. It's a big hole in the ground. It's not impressive to me at all.
Anyway. I say all that to say this. like, what's the most? If you think of like, what do you think is the most famous hike in the world? Like someone hiking, like
the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, I was thinking,
or Mount Kilimanjaro.
I think you're going where my brain.
Everest.
That's right.
That's the most.
She's been talking so much about it. I started researching a little bit about Mount Everest.
It's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
There's just dead bodies everywhere.
I'm definitely not going ever.
There's just people dead up there.
But the crazy thing about it.
Down.
At one point, they had like a place, like not halfway up, but it was like it was pretty far up. That had like a place to like sleep and eat and shit. And there was like a butchery there, but it closed down because the stakes were high. All right, man. You guys stop laughing. I'm stop telling.
We created this monster.
You created it, motherfucker.
I created this monster.
All of this shit. People fucking instant messaging me. The goddamn shit. It's all you.
Shout out to the rest of the Cool Table. If you listen to this podcast or any other podcast that we're friends with, and you have a podcast, you're part of the Cool Table.
So why are you still looking up there? It's been 3 fucking years.
Put on your fucking mask.
And if you don't have a podcast, you're part of the Cool Table as far as I'm concerned. And shout out to the rest of the Nerd Rage team. Marilyn Phil on Notes and on Twitter. Dante on Facebook. And who both of those gentlemen we've got to share their company with recently. And Raul on Instagram. And anyone else who may be working behind the scenes. And Ricky Tiki Timber. If you want to work on that, let me know.
Bring him on board.
Yeah,
Ricky Bobby.
Just remember the money that Bobby asked for. We all 3 get a little of. It's going to buy K-Cups.
Hey, the K-Cup fund.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
Your feelings on Native American history, not concerning here. Just enjoy, eat till your face hurts, and
family time or something.
There you go.
Yeah, because we don't really do like the feast thing so much in my house. We have we do a reenactment of pilgrims.
That's why you invited me.
We're really into like the historical element of it. We're not in it for like the food and good time with friends and family.
Is that why you bought me those white stockings, those buckle shoes?
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
And you were like, what do I do with these extra buckles? They go on the hat. So Nina Pinta Santa Maria.
Oh,
wait,
boy.
is that? I don't think that's Thanksgiving, bro. Is it?
Yeah, it's all the same.
I think it's Columbus Day.
It's Columbus Day.
Yeah. We're all horrible.
Yeah. I don't belong in any of these. I don't think they have Asian people here.
Yeah, but you'll eat. So
I'm quite adjacent though.
They were fucking building railroads or something at the time, I think.
Native Americans came from Asian land, right? At some point in the history.
It wasn't yet, Bobby.
Later. Don't worry, you guys are coming soon. I don't have that reenactment yet. All right. And with that,
Flavolabius.
Tasty taint.
tight dick player.